Anyhow, hello, replay viewers. Today's Friday. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, New York time. Hello, Sue. I was just live and I signed in from a second device to show somebody how to join the broadcast and didn't realize that I was logged into the same account. And when I left that broadcast, it ended both of them. So, anywho, hello. Yeah, I had guests in there and everything. Yeah, oopsie. Yeah. Hey, Kat, how are you, hon? Are you at school or are you home? Hello, Debbie. Do you? Yeah, hey, Colin. Sorry about that. How are you, whore? Doing good, whore. How you doing? Mentions and posts, comments on your posts, comments after your comments. Debbie, would you like to try to join now? Are you on you're on an iPhone, right? Hello again, Miriam. One thing I will say about Happs versus Periscope is that the Periscope comments were faster. Yes, Sue. Yeah, you're gonna have to be patient with that. The lag. They're feverishly working on that. The other night, or actually last Friday, the comments were only 5-second delay. We tested it, but it's definitely there's so much other content and other things that are offered by this app that it's really worth being patient with it. Sorry. Now, yeah, you know what? You know what? I've only been on here a month too, so it's signing in from a second device while you're live on another. You have to be careful on how you get out of that broadcast. So that's how I accidentally ended the other broadcast because I hit the wrong button on this device. Hello, Rita. Reda. Hello. Sorry, the comments are actually. I gotta increase the font. There we go. Happs is superior one. Just those comments. Yeah, definitely. You know what, Sue? Do you have the ability to test or time the seconds? If you want to help me see how long the lag is today. Okay. All right, Helga. Yeah, I saw the notification that she had gone live. Okay. Yeah, I'll be on for a while. Kat or Debbie. If you'd like to join. Hello, Darren. How are you, sir? Sugar Lips. Hello, Sugar Lips. Are you still working, Darren? Sure. Tell me when to comment so you can. Okay. All right. Right. Yeah. I guess, Sue, write the word test and I'll tell you when I see it. Just time the amount of seconds it takes. So you can go at any time and I'll read it. Hi, Val. Driving. Okay. Test. Just saw it, Sue. So it was about 10, 12 seconds. Hello, everybody. All right, so So Kat is driving. Ed, okay. Just took a break, lunch break. Aha. Very cool. Hopefully you're having a good day. You're at work. Say hi to Heather. Hello. Hello, Heather. How are you? Is Helga coming back? Yeah, she said that she had to jump into someone else's broadcast and she's coming back. Yeah. About 12? Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Last night it was about 20. So they are working on it though, Sue. There's just so much more, when it's, yeah, especially because we have the video guest function here, and because I can put up to 8 people here, in the broadcast with me, when the people who are live on video tend to speak to each other, and people end up chatting with each other amongst themselves. I found, and which is, if you're the broadcaster, it's impossible to focus on 7 or 8 people or 6, 7 people and comments so it's you have to find a balance when you're broadcasting. And what we end up doing is somebody who's live in the broadcast every once in a while goes through the comments and reads them so that everybody doesn't feel pressured to keep up with everything. I'm feeling good, Belle. Thank you. No problems at all. I had a little muscle ache in my arm yesterday for a short time, very mild. It felt like somebody punched me in the arm, and that was just from the injection, I'm sure. So showing these features we didn't have before. It's a very fair trade-off. Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that there's no trolls and there's no drama, it's I've had to keep focusing on that, but they are aggressively working on the lag. I'm sorry, Debbie. I'm going to send you that invite again. Now, if you recall, you go to the bottom of your screen, you go out of this broadcast, go to the bottom of your screen, hit go live, and underneath start broadcast is the title for this broadcast. What it'll do is it'll put you into this virtual green room, which is on the other half of my screen here because I'm on my computer. And then I'll add you right away. I like that it shows who donated and cheers you from previous broadcasts. Yeah, that's definitely there's really it's really cool. It's really and we got so spoiled with Periscope with the comments, but you know what? There were so many other features that they could have taken advantage of and implemented, and they just didn't care. From early on, they didn't give a shit. Mom is good too. I haven't spoken to her today, but she said she was very good yesterday. No issues whatsoever. All right. So now I sent you the invite. So, Sue, are you in a position where you can join or no? How many platforms are you? 4: YouTube, Twitch, which I only have a username. I don't have any followers on there. On Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, obviously, and I'm not on Facebook at all. So it's Periscope was really my main source of broadcasting. Let's see. So my friend Debbie is trying to figure out how to join. Now, Debbie, if you're still here, go out of the broadcast. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see the Go Live button at the bottom. You can. The cool thing, you can turn off the banners at the top. There she comes. There she comes. Let me see. I'm seeing something else. Hello. Can you hear me?
Right. Hi. I can't see you.
There we go. All right. Tilt it up and little tilt it up higher. And it's going to look centered differently on your end. Hello. Now you'll probably see just yourself, right? At the upper
Yeah.
left, you probably see a live or a live view. Um, the If you click that, you'll see the view that the viewers will see. So as far as figuring out how to position your phone so that you're centered, that'll be the way to do it. Click on that little picture up at the top. You got your hair cut.
my
I like
gosh.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty short. You can see me? Oh no, I can't see
I can
anything.
see you. Yeah, I can see you. Yep.
No, I can't see.
Can you see me?
Nope.
What does it say on your screen?
Uh,
All right, now it flipped around. I can see your kitchen. Okay.
this is horrible.
See your angelic face. I see you.
I wish to see you.
Trying to think. I don't know. Do you have any apps open in the background? Maybe you can kill. Maybe
Nope,
they're
close
dragging
them all.
down. Okay.
You taught me well. I closed them all.
Yeah, clear your cache. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I can see you now. Now let me see. I'm gonna sign into my other account, so I want to. It looks very
No, I
different on
don't know
my
how to
end, so
do
I
that.
can't even guide you. No. I have my Limelight account, which I thought I was in that before when I came in. And then what I ended up doing was coming in here in the same account that I'm broadcasting from now. So then when I left, it ended the entire thing. So that was what happened before. I said, screw these people. I'm out. They're boring me. I'm gonna
Oh
try
my
to get.
gosh.
Now let me see how I can. I'm gonna log in. So you know what? What I'll do is stay in here. I'm gonna take you out so you're not on. So you're not on video. We can hear you. So now you're audio only. So tell me how you're doing. How's life? How's
I
life
wish I could
going and
see
that
you.
kind of thing. People can hear you. As soon as I can tell you what you should see on your side, then I can guide you how to change it on the phone.
Um, Life is very busy right now and very stressful, like everyone else, I'm sure. You know,
Busy in a good way.
busy in a bad way. Work
Uh,
is way too busy and stressful, and
yeah, the pressure of your dad. So
pressure of my
probably.
dad. That's a big strain. One of my sons lives in another province, and that's on lockdown right now. So, but
Mhm.
uh, I'll get to see him next month, I think, once the bubble opens up again.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we know about that. We know about that with the lockdowns.
yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
I haven't seen him since September, so
uh,
he's very excited to come home and see my dad. And
it's good.
yeah, how are things there?
Same hectic. You know, tense.
Yeah,
This new craziness in our life. It's got everybody on edge, so it's challenging.
yeah, it definitely feels like it's never gonna end.
Yeah, fortunately, or just to give you a little hope, it's changing very fast here. They're
Hmm.
already they're already opening things up at a fast rate. I believe that they were probably locked down longer than they should have, and it was because of politics.
Hmm.
As soon as they now, as soon as somebody needs to look like a hero, all of a sudden the safety is less, and everybody's opening up. All the restaurants are opening again, so it's really, they're finding the science is coming out that the lockdowns actually caused more people to get sick because they were transferring it to each other in the lockdown. instead of being out and about where people are less likely to interact close. Um, so the science, is leading in that direction. So it's causing a lot of these governments to open back up again.
Right.
So before you know it, you guys are, especially Toronto and those cities, those cities will start to open, and then you'll see right after that, your areas will start to open again.
Yeah, actually, we're doing really well. We're sort of leading in the world right now as far as how our government for Nova Scotia handled the whole COVID thing.
Hmm.
Our numbers are very, very low, and most of the deaths that happened were from like um, nursing homes,
Yeah.
because it just spread like crazy there. But I think I think I mean, I don't know what the stats are. I haven't checked recently, but I think our numbers are like under 1,500 COVID cases. So
Really? Oh
Nova
my God.
Scotia. So this isn't per day. This is
Yeah.
since the onset. So um, don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure. They might be a little off. I haven't checked for a while, but you know we've been staying home and we've been trying not to trying to do all the things they're telling us
Hmm.
to stay home. Wash your hands, be safe, wear a mask, keep your distance, don't have big gatherings. Um,
Yeah,
so
that was a challenge for us, as you know.
yeah, of
The amount,
course.
the amount, the
Yeah,
amount of people we have, at our house all the time, on a regular
right.
basis. We have a lot of people here,
Yeah, it would be brutal.
and we had very few gatherings over the last year and a half. Um,
Yeah, it's rough. I miss family. I miss friends. I've kept in touch with my mom and dad, of course, because of what my dad's going through. You know, I even during restriction time, that was the one place I was going to. But I'm not in a high risk. I literally live in the middle of nowhere right
you still
now.
going
I
there,
work from home. Yeah, I'm,
right?
I'm only going there basically. So that's
Yeah, and I've had to. Well, Joe's working from home. He hasn't gone
yeah,
into work since
Joel.
last March. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so it's
that's good.
so that's going well. And
Yeah.
so I just shot myself in the
Oh,
head with
I'm
my
sure
hand.
it is.
No, no, it's actually fine. And I'm the one that goes out. I'm the canary in the coal mine, so I'm the one that goes to Costco and goes shopping. And
Yeah.
um, but I've been taking it antiviral, or vitamins, and like crazy, and the COVID vitamin recommendations, and also taking hydroxychloroquine, um,
Oh
as
yeah.
a yeah, since January. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we've had a number of people. I've had a
I
number of
thought you were
close
joking
calls.
at first.
No, not at all. No,
No?
since January, first week of January, because I have to take care of my mom. I
Right.
need to, whatever. Um, and
Whatever
people who
takes.
weren't who people who didn't have an agenda behind their statements about that hydroxychloroquine, they said by all means take it. Um,
Hmm.
so it's and I have a heart issue, so I'm in the high risk group.
Right.
So, and as
Hmm.
far as getting COVID, so
And you've got your
um,
vaccination.
I just yeah, we got it 2 days ago. The first one,
Joe too? Yeah.
Pfizer, and
Yeah.
had no issues whatsoever. Um,
Hmm.
and thanks to a friend of ours who got us um, to the head of the line. Um, it's yeah. So the next shot, the second shot, is in the second week of April. So I'll be
Yeah,
looking
I'm not
forward
sure
to
when
that.
they're rolling it out here. Um, I haven't been notified, but I also don't have a family doctor here, so I don't know how that all works. But I am in a high risk category because of my asthma
Hmm.
and my age, I'm guessing now. So,
25, really?
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's well here. They only opened it up to 60-year-olds just last week in New
Yeah.
York, and or somebody with comorbidity of any high risk, and not all the places that have vaccines are allowing it. So in all of Long Island, there was one place for us to get a vaccine. There's 5 million people on this island, so
Right.
now
That's
if you go
crazy.
online to try to schedule a vaccine, it's the last week of May that was available. They're probably into
Right.
June now.
Right.
It's just such a scam. And then you go to a different state, Connecticut is literally across the boat. You took the ferry from
Yeah.
Connecticut to get here,
Exactly.
and you can get it in that state 45 and over with no health issues. So
Really.
it's all politics, and now because Governor Cuomo is about to be hauled off uh, because of sexual inappropriate scandals, all of a sudden he's opening up the criteria. For those of you who are in the comments, if you look at this is in the notifications when you're sent an invite to join a broadcast. You'll see the one that has a red dot in my comments. It says you've been invited to Von Allen's broadcast. That's the comment you would have clicked in your activity or your notifications. Same thing. And that would be how somebody would join the broadcast. Once you click that broadcast notification, you then go into this other menu where it says create new broadcast, or if you were invited, underneath where it says your broadcast, anything you were invited to would be there in the gray. Then if you click that title, it will bring you into the broadcast. Um, now, sorry, hold on a second. I have to mute myself. Okay. Now, Debbie, can you still hear me? Okay. On your phone, up at the top, do you see where it says live and then the number of people in
Yeah.
there and then the signal strength?
Yep.
Underneath that, does it say a little box with my name, or what does it say underneath?
Yeah. Now a little box of your name comes up.
Now, if you click the blue show live, what happens?
A box, an audience preview box comes up.
And it's black, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's black on my own too. Let me see. I don't know why. Let me see if I turn on the camera. What happens? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out on the telephone. All right, so I see what you mean. All right, so there must be
Maybe they're
some
blocking
kind of glitch.
Canadians.
It's very possible. Very
Yeah.
possible. It's because you always make us look worse. Yeah,
Sure. That's the reason.
yeah, yeah. Where the hell is that? I have that. There was a meme I had. I think I posted it on Facebook before I deleted Facebook.
Yeah,
It
you're on
said,
Facebook again.
yeah, deleted it. My account's gone, totally gone. I want nothing to do with it anymore. The politics just ruined it for me. Um, the but it also lost its charm years ago.
Hmm.
Um, I have a meme that says, "Oh no, the riots have made it to Canada," and it's a picture of like a highway barrier, those concrete barriers that are in between the two lanes,
Yeah.
and it says "Darn the police" on it.
Uh,
And it's just just of course, because the reputation is that Canadians are much nicer than Americans, and in most cases it's true.
for the most part, it's true, but there's some nasty American and Canadians out there.
Hmm.
We have some meanies.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's I think that's probably anywhere. Cookie or Sue or anybody else, are you able to hear Debbie? I just want to make sure that the sounds okay on your end. I know it sounds fine to me, but I just want to get some feedback. Um, which son is out of Nova Scotia?
Ben
Okay,
Ben Ben moved in with his boyfriend in September or end of
okay.
August. Yeah. So right at the height of New Brunswick just being in like crazy red zone area.
Mm.
So it's been locked down. We had an Atlantic bubble for a number of months where we could travel from one province to the other if it was within the Atlantic region. So New Brunswick, Nova Scotia,
Mm.
PEI,
Right,
and Newfoundland. But that quickly closed down. New Brunswick's numbers went up, and Newfoundland went up, and PEI shut their doors, and Nova Scotia shut the doors. So,
right. Was that was it Prince Edward Island?
yeah.
Um, yeah, well, they found that this is thriving in the cold and in the summer and the warmth. It doesn't have its same impact. Doesn't spread as
hmm
much either.
Yeah,
Which
I think PEI has been the low have had the lowest numbers, so they were just definitely trying to keep it out of that province completely.
yeah, well, there's probably 7 or 8 people there, right? I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, and I don't think that a lot of those people travel a whole lot either. They're all, retired. People retire to PEI and then they never
Yeah,
leave. So, um, but yeah,
it's like
the
Palm Beach, Florida.
yeah, there
This
you
is
go.
what the hell was her name? Linda. What the hell was her name? She was from Periscope. The older woman who used to broadcast from her bed. Um,
I
who
don't
was
think I
it?
ever watched.
Oh my God! What the hell was her name? Linda Richmond? No, not Linda Richmond. Shit.
I
Oh
don't
God! I
know.
wish Linda Lubick. Linda
Hmm.
Lubick, and she was a little touched in the head, and she was a she would do she I don't know, she was obsessed with, I think, John Cena or something like that, and she was the customer service number for John Cena or something like that. Yeah, yeah. The cookie says that lady loved
Calling it back
wrestlers.
to you now.
Um, are you able to see the comments? Just curious. If you scroll up on your screen, Debbie, are you able to see the comments?
Yep, yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, so this is how we can do the alternate, which is audio only, which is sound fine on my end. And Cookie said she can hear you good. So, yeah, Linda Lubick. And people used to go in there and just terrorize her. But she would just sit there and say, "Hello, how are you?" You know, she's a little Jewish lady in Palm Beach Gardens. This is Linda Lubick from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And she would lay in her bed, and that's all you'd see is the headboard. But all you'd see is from here up, her nose, the bridge of her nose up. She would never hold the phone right, so you couldn't see her whole face, and you would see only from like half her nose up. So
I never
Barb,
watched her.
our friend Barb. Whenever we do Zoom, she does the
Yeah.
same thing without even realizing it. So we call her Linda Lubick because
Barb?
all you can see is her forehead. Yeah. Oh my God, it's hysterical. She's like
Uh,
showing the ceiling and the top of her head, and it's
well,
just.
I wonder how Linda Lubick is doing now.
I can't even. And then she lived with her mother, her elderly mother. Now this woman's. I think she was from the Bronx, from up here, and so she had that accent, a Jewish Bronx accent. So it was really pronounced New York accent, and she lived with her elderly mother, and her mother would come into the room and start yelling at her. Um, she wouldn't end the broadcast. She would just keep going. They like have a yelling fight,
Oh
and
my
she was probably in her. I would guess she's in her 60s, and this woman. So, just so funny. Oh my god. Um, and people used to go in there and troll her, and she would instantly block them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just really. Oh my god! In fact, I almost want to go and see if she's still on there, because you have to. You're not living if you haven't seen that woman on Periscope.
Oh my god, what's she gonna do after Periscope ends?
Oh my god! You know, fortunately, there's other options now. Um, let's see, a little bit.
I wish I could see your face. I don't see you at all. I just see the comments.
Yeah, I don't understand why the. I don't understand why it's even on the other device that
Hmm.
I just came in on. It was the same
Is
thing.
is it because I'm on my phone? I did enable my video and microphone and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was having the same issue on my iPhone when I just tried to join too.
Hmm.
So it's try. Let me try again.
Oh, I see you now.
Next step. Okay. Now I can see myself on the camera, and of course you can hear me twice. Um, now on my
Well,
phone, I see you. Right? Do you see me now? In that little box, another
I
box should have popped up. It
well, I
says
see you
Vaughn.
flickering. Ooh, you sound like a robot.
What are you seeing on yours on the phone, upper left?
I I see a tiny little like picture of you, but it's like showing still shots and it's flashing it. You're
Okay,
flashing off and on.
if you click on it,
Click on it. Oh, there you are.
all right, that's me.
I see.
That's the main broadcast.
There you go.
If
Oh,
you
you're the cutest
cancel,
ever.
thank you. Tell me more. And if you and then you hit cancel at the bottom, it goes back. But then once you're in that mode, you can't see comments. Just so you know. Now
Yes.
if you click, let me see here. Hold on.
I turned my camera off too.
It's now if you click show live, you'll see the last image of you. That was oh, these fucking dogs. You want a dog? Oh shit! Hold on a second. Really? Morons. I'm telling you. I'm gonna give away a free dog with every broadcast.
Aw. Is that Annie?
Yeah, and Ming. They're inside. Somebody must
Hmm.
have breathed near the front door. Okay, Cookie. Cookie has to go. She says, "See you soon, love."
Bye, Cookie.
Get started. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna. Right. So now you look. I'm trying to. Cookie says, "Nice to meet you, Debbie."
Nice to meet you too.
Now, if you look at this, if you click on the show live,
Yep.
you should see me twice.
It's not now. Now it's showing. Oh, there you are. Yes.
Two
It's
of
not.
me is not even enough.
It's showing you only once.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got to catch up. Is the screen split in half?
Nope,
Or is
but it's very glitchy.
okay, maybe your
That's
internet's
harder for me to say. Glitchy.
glitchy.
Hmm.
Glitchy and bitchy.
Yeah.
glitchy. All right, so I pulled out. So for some reason it's probably because this does use a lot of internet. If you don't have a really good internet connection, it could affect it.
Right.
I have no.
You know what? That's probably it.
Okay.
Probably it. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm lucky to have internet at all, so
Okay.
that could be it.
And if you don't have a newer router,
Hmm.
the newer routers, I mean, the newer routers handle the high speed internet better. If you haven't a dated, even if it's a couple of years old, it could be antiquated for your internet speed.
Yeah, this is a new one, but
Okay.
like I said, it is high speed, but it's not. It's high speed for here.
Gotcha.
um, we don't have fiber op yet. It's
Okay.
coming, but that could be the reason why.
Yeah, there's apps you can download to test your internet speed,
Yeah,
and if you have one of those, I think if it's under like 30 or 40
yeah,
megabytes per second, I believe then you're going to have issues.
yeah. I think I have like 6.
Oh, then by all means that's your issue. Okay, so audio is
Yeah.
audio is probably the best option for you.
Hey, I'm lucky to
Um,
have it here at all. I'm really in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, well, I mean,
It's nice.
with cable vision, it really doesn't matter because it comes through cable, so it's almost like fiber optic.
Yeah.
We have cable vision here, and it's we don't have the fiber optic through Verizon, and we have 300 megabytes per second.
Whoa.
And it's relatively inexpensive here. It's only about $10 different from 200 to 300 here.
Wow. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, we're working on that because I do work from home now because my home office is still in Hamilton, Ontario. So,
ah,
um, but I work like I'm still working for the same company, but from Nova Scotia.
right.
So, yeah.
Hmm. The Do you have to travel there a lot or no?
No, I haven't had to travel at all. Hopefully, I mean, it'll be a while before I pay another visit to Hamilton. You
Right.
know, pandemic and all, but I do miss some people there,
Yeah.
and I made a lot of friends when I was there.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
very happy to be back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially with all the stuff going on with your dad.
Yeah.
Hello, John. Just want to say hello quick.
Oh, John.
John's on Periscope. John, we are on Happs now. Even though I'm broadcasting on Periscope, it's simultaneously broadcasting through Happs. So that's where most of the cool people have moved. Um, if you're interested, download the app by clicking on the link in my bio, and
Now, how do you know that John didn't join us through Happs?
because I can see on my end there's a blue bird in his comment.
Oh,
It
okay.
shows for Twitter,
Yeah.
which yeah, because they're merged. Uh, the the uh, the Twitter bird, the blue bird, is on which you could see in the comments. You probably see a little blue line next to his name.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah, that it's on your side. It shows as a blue line. On mine, it shows as a bird.
Okay.
And if it was YouTube, it would be a yellow. I mean, I'm sorry, a red square.
Hmm.
And then Twitch is a black and white something or other icon. And then Facebook has I think the little small Facebook logo.
Oh, so you can join from all of these apps?
You can, yeah, and I can simultaneously broadcast from here, and it goes on all of them at the same time.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
pretty cool.
just like you saw in Periscope, it was live there.
Yeah.
It can do that, and on I think up to like 30 of them at the same time.
Wow.
So it would be a duplication of the same broadcast live.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So, and that's why there's so much to this app and this
Mhm.
platform that the comment lag is a little, it's a little bit of a
Yeah,
delay.
I noticed that.
Uh,
I mean, it's great. You can actually see the people that you're talking to.
Hmm.
You know that they can. It's hard to troll people that that can see you. Um,
Hmm.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Hello,
Uh,
Edward.
Hello again. Edward came back. Yeah. Yeah, Edward, I accidentally ended my broadcast before. I was trying to demonstrate to Debbie how to join the broadcast, and I accidentally joined from a phone that was signed into the same account. And then when I left with that phone, it said bye bye to everybody. Helga, and they all went sliding down a slide, going ah.
Oh, all my fault.
Yeah, let's blame it on the Canadians.
Yeah.
We do everything else.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was. That's all good. Um,
So it shows there's 127 people in this broadcast. Is that how that works?
yeah, yeah, and that's a total of. I'm not sure if it's current. I don't know.
Okay.
They don't have the way to break it down yet.
Ah, yes.
But that's viewing from Twitter and Periscope, and here
Hmm.
I believe it's a total of all.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
it says 127 others, and yeah, I believe they're working on how to see who's currently in the room.
Hmm.
I know that's on their list also, the live view.
Well, what I
Periscope.
loved was that you posted something, I don't know, yesterday saying that you were going to be going live today at 2 Atlantic Standard Time.
Hmm.
I loved that because it was like, oh, I can actually be prepared and to say hi, and I know you're coming on again, and I really liked that.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice feature, and you don't have to leave. You don't have to post on Twitter or whatever. It
Right.
stays to all of your people who are in your follower list will be
Mm-hmm.
notified of it
Hmm.
if their notifications are set to allow that. Um, and I can I added people who were going to potentially be part of the broadcast.
Right.
Um, so that's a lot of really neat features, and they just keep adding stuff. Edward says, "Hello, Debbie. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for sharing earlier. My prayer is that you would have peace and comfort of God in abundance."
Oh, Edward, thank you so much. I so needed to hear your words today.
Mm.
Um, I felt very lucky to be listening to you and Vaughn and Helga earlier, and how you guys are viewing the whole life death um, thing right now.
Transition.
So
Yeah.
it's really important for me. I have to change my perspective, and because I've been very angry, um, and just trying. I took the week off this week. It was my birthday this week, and just hasn't been a very good week. So trying to work my way around all that and seeing things in a different light and trying to figure things out.
It's I didn't realize it was your birthday. That's a problem with Periscope. I mean, that's a problem with not having Facebook now.
Ah,
Happy birthday, honey.
St. Patrick's Day. Remember Green Day?
That yeah, I don't I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, so it never even clicked.
Oh, it
Now
never
that
even.
you say that, I remember it, but I'm just
Mhm. That's okay. Hello,
it's
Jim.
yeah, Jim. Hello there, hello Jim. Uh, Moritz Richter says, "Wow, I see a big cleaning job there." Ick. What is that?
I
I
don't
don't know what that means. No idea.
kind of I read it, but I didn't know what it meant. So
Yeah, and you'll see there's a red box that's from YouTube.
okay.
The On my side, it looks like the little TV kind of like
Yep.
the play symbol like YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, that's what it looks like on my side. Um, yeah, it's um, yeah, I
Well, I really loved what Edward said earlier, and again, I'm going to take that to heart. I definitely needed to hear that today, this week. So I will run with that. And you know what? I need to have a conversation. Like, not that I have conversations with my father all the time, and he's my hero, as you know, Vaughn. He's like the number one of the number one people in my life. So I just, it's really a really hard thing to absorb, knowing that he's not going to be, we know that you're not going to be here forever, but when it's happening, it's still really hard. And I know you understand with your father and all that. So
yeah,
I
it's
need to have a conversation with my dad, and I don't know how to start it. I don't know how, like a deep conversation about, did I do enough? Is there anything he needs me to do?
mhm.
Really hard to have that face to face
Well,
conversation.
well, maybe instead of putting that much pressure on you, as far as waiting to hear, something like you did something wrong, did I do enough, or anything like that. Don't put the pressure on yourself. Just ask him what does he want.
Yeah.
What would he like? Is there anything that's important that he wants you
Yeah.
to take care of for him?
Mhm.
And open the conversation without the words, with less emotion.
Oh, well, that's
Like
the
when I was dealing with
problem.
my dad, when I was dealing with my dad and I was taking care of him, I was his healthcare proxy.
Mhm.
Um, he started we started talking about his finances and started talking about things that he wanted a certain way.
Right.
Um, Especially after he was pretty much told that it's getting near the end of the road, which he didn't want to. He didn't want to know. He didn't want to hear that.
Right.
Um, he was in a little bit of denial for almost a year after
Yeah.
they had already told him. That he
Right.
was. But he was bitter about it when he
Mhm.
realized that this was happening.
Mhm.
Um, so he became an unpleasant person to be around,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
especially for my mother. He was lashing out at
That's
her
what's
a lot.
happening with my mom and dad right now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it was really, and my parents had um, their relationship was never great. Um,
Mhm.
so it only brought out
He took
even
out
more
took it out. Yeah.
dysfunction and anger and
Yeah.
bitterness. So it was definitely, and when you're dealing with 80-year-old people that
Yeah.
are acting like that, it's not easy,
Mhm.
especially when German kraut, stubborn.
You throw that into,
Yeah,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, like I'm trying to be there for my mom, and mom, you need to understand, like, just we don't know what he's going through. Like, he's got processing a lot of things. My mom is very, very dominating and very passive aggressive in her responses back to anyone, really, like anyone close to her. So I'm sure my dad's pushing back and stuff, and so it's like, I see where you're coming from. I see where he's coming from. You just have to be patient and try not to take it personal. But
But it's definitely difficult.
yeah,
It's definitely difficult.
yeah.
Um,
And you're sort of stuck in the middle.
yeah, very. And yeah, it really depends on the relationship you had. I had I didn't take my father's shit, so
Yeah.
I could put him right back where he belonged. Um,
Yeah.
if he was being out of line with me.
Yeah.
Um, but some people who don't have that comfort level.
Well, my dad
Yeah.
isn't like that. So it's really hard. I see him being short with my mom. He hasn't been short with me.
Hmm.
Um, so my dad is not like that. My mom is like that. Uh, so yeah, it's uh-huh.
Yeah, I had both of them.
Thank
She was, she was lashing out at me. Yeah, so it was definitely, and part of it was my father didn't want her to help him, um,
Oh,
and then she
mm,
started getting resentful because I was the one.
right,
So,
right.
so I just deal with the two of them,
So she was
and
upset
her,
with you.
who I was, I've always been like this, that like very close to my mother.
Right.
So to have her
Mad at you now.
now
Upset.
treating me like this after all this time for
Right.
something that's not my fault, and I
Right.
didn't ask to help him. He asked me.
Mm-hmm. I,
So
I
it was
I
really,
I don't think they're conscious of it. I don't think they understand, like, you know, I think it's all out of fear, right?
mhm,
And I know I called 911. My dad had passed out. He's been losing a lot of blood, and the last time he lost blood, he lost 4 pints of blood he needed.
which,
You have like 8 in your body. Uh,
yeah, wow,
he has stomach and liver cancer. Um, and well, this is before that all happened, though. He passed out. He uh, scared the crap out of us. I called 911. As
mhm,
I'm talking to 911 on the phone, I'm trying to answer all their questions about my dad. My dad started coming around a bit, and they were saying, you need to make sure when the ambulance gets there, you have this and this. So I'm telling I've got my dad stabilized. I've got his head by my legs, and I'm talking to him in a calm way, and I'm asking my mom, go get this, go get that, the ambulance. And she started yelling at me while I'm talking to 911. And
yeah,
telling me I'm going to be in trouble when I get off the phone. So, because of, I was telling her what to do and to be ready for the ambulance driver. But anyway, it's just all these things that you hold inside and build up resentment. And I'm trying to not feel that resentment, because I know my mom is going to need me when all is said and done.
mhm,
But it's been I think I had a little mini breakdown this week, this Monday, and I only had a couple days off, and I decided to take the rest of the week off, um, to give myself a little bit of a break.
yeah, it's good. You got to do that. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a lot of pressure.
And I
It's
think my dad's more worried about my relationship with my mother because it's not the greatest. Again, my mom is a very dominating person, and it's her way or the highway, and very passive
yeah,
aggressive. So I think he's worried about our relationship after all this is said and done.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Both of my parents are that way, so it's trust me. And I'm one of two siblings that are here on the island. The other two are out of state, so they're
Right.
uninvolved. They're uninvolved in any of this shit. And my
Mhm.
father wasn't an open person to allow people to have any input, let alone
Right.
control him, so to speak. Um, so he was, you know, a control freak,
Yeah.
of his own stuff and other people's things, but definitely defiant when you're trying to do stuff to help him. Um, and then my mother she's just, and now I'm dealing that with her. Now here we are a year after he's gone, and um, she's defiant now and rebelling.
Oh,
Edward wrote 5 wishes.
oh,
One, the person I want. Can you read that? Can you see it?
yeah. Yeah.
I'll read it for people who can't see it. Some of the people on Periscope can't see the comments here. 5 wishes. Number 1, the person I want to make care decisions for me when I can't. Number 2, the kind of medical treatment I want or don't want. Number 3, how comfortable I want to be. Number
Hmm.
4, how I want people to treat me. Number
Hmm.
5, what I want my loved ones to know.
That's all.
Definitely the
Yeah.
healthcare proxy. Do you
Yeah.
have a healthcare proxy in
Yeah.
place?
So I am the person that they've named. My dad also has a DNR signed. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, so that all the medical stuff, all the medical legal stuff, is taken care of. Um,
Maybe that would be a way to stimulate the conversation. Is maybe do you have a physical paper healthcare proxy
yeah,
like
yes.
I have here? Maybe
Yep.
show it to him and say, is there anything on here that just to get him to start the conversation on his own for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, they just did it last summer. They went to a lawyer um, to have that all arranged. So I guess that's probably a good way to bring it up. It's just,
It's
uh,
yeah, it's definitely not because
it's
it's all
so,
part of saying goodbye, and I think who the hell
it's
wants to say
so hard.
goodbye?
Like, you feel like now's not the time to have the conversation, but at the same time, we none of us know how long we have. Um, so we should all be having these conversations anyway before we get sick, the kinds of things that we want to happen after we're not here anymore, and yeah, when
Yep,
it's on your
it's
doorstep, hard.
yeah, it's really hello, Paula. Hello, Lady Paula. Um,
Thank you for that, Edward. I did read it up there. Thank you so much.
Happy Friday. Paula is in England.
Hello, Paula.
She's across the pond. Edward says, "Thank you, Vaughn. It's important that we all understand that there are processes that will assist us, so everything is not so overwhelming." Debbie, thank you for allowing me to participate with you.
Oh, thank you, Edward. You have no idea how much you're helping me right now, and Vaughn, by having the broadcast and getting this out there, and um, it's a lot, very
Yeah,
overwhelming. Yeah.
yeah. It's sometimes just hearing yourself, um, not so much vent, but vocalize some of the
Yeah.
things. Sometimes make you process it a little better. Um, uh, Paul, Debbie is a friend of ours from for years. She's in Nova Scotia. Her internet is crap, so she couldn't. She wasn't visible. She wasn't able to get her video to show. So, but she is here. People can see the last image. That there you go. There she is. Um,
Oh God.
so she's on audio only. Let me see. I'm just gonna throw the invites out there again for if you're able to join. Great. Again, Edward, Paula, same thing. Um, if you're not available, that's okay too. Don't feel pressured at all. Um, the Yeah, Paula is definitely someone that Um, I just love her personality, the way she speaks, and just wait. I'm able to see you really good now. Ready? Hold on. There you
I
go.
can
There we go.
you.
Now, tilt your phone so that your face is in the middle of your screen, like centered top to bottom, and then that will center it on my side here. There we go. Okay, a little higher, and there you go. Higher, higher.
Oh wait, this?
That is perfect. You're centered perfectly now, and the screen on my side is split in half. So I just wanted people to see a beautiful face.
I
And
can't
Paula
see
says,
you.
Paula said, "Hello, hooray! We can see you." Well, now try to click on the show live and see if it shows now.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Hit cancel. We can see you now. Um, but it's like, I'll tell you when you're out of center. But you look good. Perfect lighting. Good hair. Um, and it's as long as you can. Are you holding the phone or is it leaning on something?
Holding it.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're so used to being able to see it when we're broadcasting on Periscope. Um, at the bottom, if you ever want to, like on the bottom, I'm sorry, bottom right, you see three dots. You can turn off your camera if you so choose. So it's not only up to me.
Well, I did turn it off earlier, so I did
Okay.
press that. I did find that
If you do
button
that
earlier.
now, my screen will stay split, so it'll be better because at least then people won't think that I'm sitting here talking to a sock puppet. Um, at least they'll know there's another human in the broadcast. Your camera is off. So if you
Oh,
feel so inclined, you can turn off the camera. Um, yeah, Paula says, "Hooray, we can see you." Edward says, "Vaughn, Debbie, and everyone, our responsibility is to help a husband and wife or individual to make their own arrangements in advance. Well, their emotions are at rest. I love what I get
that's
to
such a good.
participate in every day.
Yeah.
That's amazing."
Hmm.
Hello, Deanna.
Yeah.
Deanna. Yes. Deanna. Wait, hold on. Here's Edward. Edward's joining. There we go. Love that. I'm just reading Deanna's comment quick. Hello there. Deanna says, hi, Vaughn. In the giveaway for Lucia's fundraiser, you won my giveaway 30 minutes cosmology discussion. You can DM me on Twitter to organize it. Okay, I will. Thank you, Deanna. I appreciate that. Let me follow you. Okay. Hello again, Edward.
Hello, how you doing, Vaughn?
I'm doing well. Debbie, you can
Hey,
hear?
Can you hear
Are
me,
you?
Debbie?
I hear you.
Oh,
Good.
there you go.
Thank you. Good
You
to,
guys can
good
talk.
to, thank you, Debbie. It's nice to be able to see you also and talk to you. It's very good. And I'm glad that I have opportunity to assist you.
Thank you. I needed to hear you today.
That's good. Well, that's what we can do by extending help to each other. It's called the emotional bank account. As long as we can make positive deposits in that emotional bank account, when we are going through, and each one of us will go through it, because both my parents are gone, you know. So at the same time, we want to make sure that when people do go through it, we can be here to assist them in the transition to make sure, again, we celebrate life, not mourn the death.
Mm.
Because having any of our parents in our lives is just tremendously amazing. And it's a miracle just to know that, my mom and dad were married 58 years, and just to know that as long as we've had them, I am who I am today because of those two people.
Yes, yeah, it's true.
I,
Yep.
I, yeah, and especially when we're lucky enough to have people who are good parents, and it can be even more painful
Yeah,
Yep.
because the
Wait till you
fear
get
of
to
what am I
see.
going to do afterwards? Where am I going to
Mhm.
be? What's going to happen to me? Yeah, it's frightening for
That's
for
my
a lot
Rob.
of
Like
people.
literally, he's my hero. Hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I
I
love
mean,
how
I'm
fondly
54. I'm still daddy girl.
I love.
Still, daddy's girl.
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, Debbie, I love how fondly you speak about your dad, and it is beautiful. I would like for you sometime to make sure that you share that with young women, the importance of the male in their life, especially their father. I teach my
Yeah.
daughter that at the same time because
Hmm.
us men need to be also celebrated. So to hear you in the fondness you talk about your father, this
Hmm.
is what social media should really be about us celebrating family and celebrating the people in our life. Because to me, that's the true equality that we have. It's beautiful when we really honor each other. Because without women, there are no men, and without men, there are no women.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to hear the other thing that's so amazing about all this? He's not my biological father. This is my
Wow,
stepdad who came into my life when I was 7. So, but
wow,
in every sense of the word, he's my dad. He's my father. And hmm
yeah. Well, I have a saying. It's called "Seeds of a Father." Becoming a father is what you did. Becoming a dad is what you do.
exactly. Yep. Yep.
Definitely.
Any man that loves another man's child and raises them as
Yep.
their own, there's sainthood there somewhere.
Yep.
Hmm.
Does he have any children of his own?
I have a stepsister. Also not biological though. She was adopted,
Mm,
um, and a stepbrother that passed away, 36 years ago. So also adopted. So he's got no actual biological children.
mhm. Okay.
Sorry, my lisp is really bad.
No, it's not at all.
Do me a favor. I have to have your car moved, and
Okay.
you can park it right in front of my gate if you want.
Okay.
I'd rather you do park this car than come in.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
I'll mute
can't
him
see
up.
the screen. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's okay. If you click on the show live, what are you seeing? He just stepped away from his camera.
Black
I'm
screen.
just okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I muted his. I know he's at work,
Right.
so I muted his microphone. Um,
Oh, so you can do
uh,
that too?
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of great features. If you do this on computer, you can join this as a viewer on the computer too. So you may find if you have um, any kind of computer, if it's got a decent internet connection, you may have better luck. But you also see that you'll have more options as a broadcaster also.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I don't know if
so
I'll be
it's
broadcasting, but I don't actually have a laptop. So,
oh no,
no.
yeah, who the hell uses them anymore? I use them
Yeah.
for work, but
Yeah, I have a work
uh,
one, but
yeah, and it's all through the internet. I mean, through the website. So there's no software or anything like that to
hmm
download. It's pretty cool. Oh, there he is. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, oh. All right. Yeah, your camera went off again. Okay.
yeah. Go get a Kleenex.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Um, so let's see. Deanna. Yeah, let's see. I subscribe to Deanna. Okay. Um, Paula, how's your day going? She's still in here. There you are. Okay. Good. Centered. Good. Yeah, the connection looks a little glitchy for you.
It's glitchy.
It's better now. It looks like it was going in and out for a second. So, did I? I mean, I didn't really see a lot because I was off Facebook a lot. But I think I saw that you were seeing someone.
Yes.
last. How's that going? Things going good?
Things are awesome.
Good.
We've been friends for almost 12 years.
Ah,
So, yeah. So,
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty great.
Very glad to hear that.
Yes,
He's
I'm
obviously
very
he's from
happy.
he's from Nova Scotia, so when you went back
He,
home, you're reconnected.
yeah, he's from New Brunswick, but yeah, was
Okay.
living in Nova Scotia, and he's one of my cousin's best friends. So
Okay.
I knew him through my cousin, and yeah, it was. I came home and we went for a coffee date, and we've been inseparable ever since.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
you'd like him,
Very good.
definitely.
He's
Yep.
he's got a sense of humor, and he's
Yes, he makes me laugh all the time.
good. Well, that's important.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love his family, and he's got grandchildren. He's got a grandson and a granddaughter, and they're awesome, and I love his family.
That's awesome. Hello,
And we live
hello, Blurry.
together.
I'm sorry, I cut the last part.
We live together now.
Oh, good, excellent.
Yeah.
I guess it's good.
Yep.
I mean, 20 years. I'm
Yeah.
with Joe, and I'm kidding. I was just trying to,
I miss you guys.
I miss you too.
I'm
Um,
like, when do I get to Long Island again?
yeah, as soon as this plague is
Hello,
behind us,
Jim.
as soon as you're vaccinated and
Mm.
we're good. Blurry's biggest fan, South California. Hello there. He says, I hit follow from Twitter to Twitter from Scope. Yeah, we're on the Happs app and broadcasting live on Periscope. Um, Edward, Debbie, did you connect your Periscope account to Happs? Because you can connect them. And
Oh no,
it well, let me tell you what happens so you can decide whether you want to link it or not. If you're not going to be
okay.
broadcasting, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
Sorry
There you
about
go.
that.
No, it's okay.
Hi,
Yeah.
Edward.
You guys know I'm at the funeral home, so
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I muted it so we didn't have to hear anybody's personal business.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Sorry about that. And I also we have another service going on now, getting ready to start. So
Oh, okay. Good vibes to that family.
Yes.
yes,
Goodbye, family.
it's okay. One of the things we say in our funeral homes, we celebrate life, we don't mourn death.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's something I'm
It's,
gonna take with me.
Celebrate life. You know how many people miss out on it because they're not present. Remember, present. The first part of the word presentation is present. It could be an adjective or it can be a noun. So if I look at the word,
Mm-hmm.
am I a present to my family? I believe I'm a gift to my wife. I'm a gift to my children. I'm a gift to my grandchild. So that's being a present. But at the same time, being present at the same time is, am I personally present? Am I an active listener? Do I empathize in a way that's always good? And do I work on that on a regular basis? Like I share with people that work with us, work more on yourself than on your job.
yeah. And if that's good, then the job is gonna be job's gonna follow. You're gonna do a good job. It's more
Exactly.
Exactly.
genuine. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You got more people from Toronto coming in.
Hello, Toronto.
Hello,
Yep.
Toronto.
We got the Canadian
Halifax.
flag.
Yes.
Halifax here.
Actually, I
Where are
think
I
we
you,
got
love
the
Debbie?
Canadian.
Canadian flag.
Where are you, Debbie?
I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Nova
In
Scotia.
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
My first pastor was from Nova Scotia.
Really?
Yes, Albert Van Tassel.
The small world
Yes.
Dutch.
really
Up,
is.
I'm originally from Massachusetts,
Hmm.
but I've had the privilege to be in every province of Canada.
Really?
Yes,
Where are you now?
I live in Orange County, California,
Ah, okay. Very
but
well, home
we've
from
we've
home.
been all over Nova Scotia, Toronto, British Columbia, Vancouver Island. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so got to go to all the different Elizabeth. I love Banff. Been to Banff, Lake Louise.
Banff is
All the
beautiful.
different beautiful parts. They call it the beautiful mountain, the $1 million view. Every time you look at it, it's a different view in Banff. It is
Banff is so
beau-
beautiful.
yeah, and been to the springs there too. Actually, gotten to the springs and Maisto Angels and everything else. So it's beautiful.
Wow.
Someone likes your
Yep.
shirt, Vaughn.
Thank you, Blurry.
So
Thank you.
Chris said he moved back to Toronto from Vancouver.
Moved back to Toronto from Vancouver. Well, I've lived in both areas. I love Vancouver. I was too far from
Yeah,
home, but it was beautiful in Vancouver as well. Toronto's great when you're young.
yeah. One of the things I do like about the Canadians is it's me, Edward. Okay. One thing about the I like about the Canadians is how present you are in other people's lives. You may not be aware of this, but one of the things that happened in Canada, you are one of the largest countries that adopt children from America.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. We are pretty loving up here.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that earlier when we were speaking, but you know that's an act of our will, right?
Can you hear? Okay. I think she's breaking up a little bit.
I think what did Edward say?
I
Yeah.
said, you know that love is an act of our will.
Act of our will.
Yes.
It's
Wh- which is
uh,
our most dominant, authority on the planet. Our most dominant
Hey,
authority is will. I will do
love is
something or I will
everything.
not.
Love is everything. I'm big on love. I love everyone.
Good.
yeah,
So blurs, is that their name? Blurry?
Blurry. Yeah.
Larry.
Biggest fan. I guess it's a
Edward.
follower of yours from
Yeah,
I
from
think Twitter.
Periscope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter and Periscope. Edward, please tell me how you know these two. I'm new. I met Vaughn probably 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago on maybe 3 weeks ago now on a person, Michael, on here. And then I just met Debbie today in our conversation about celebration of life. And that's how we met on. I turned down Happs streets today, and this is one of the streets I stopped on, and this is how we got to
Yay!
meet.
Thank goodness.
That's right. Yeah. Nice, clean street. Very,
Yep.
very well kept.
Exactly. Yeah,
People come
that's
into our lives for a reason. And
yes.
I think, Edward, you've come into my life at a very important time in my life right now. So, and Vaughn, well, he's been a part of my life for how long now, Vaughn? 5 years?
Yeah, yeah,
4 years?
yeah. About that. Yeah,
And
fine. Yeah.
yeah, so
Chris
I'm
said, "Do
very
you want him
blessed.
to join?" I would love to say hello.
I will absolutely. Here you go. Do you know how to come up? I've never met Chris, but we'll see how this how this plays out.
Thank you, my number one.
Well, yes, I already love Edward. He's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, absolutely agree. And that's from the first day I saw Edward on Michael's broadcast.
Hmm.
Um, definitely words of wisdom and just the great positive.
Good positive vibes.
the vibe is a good word for it. Definitely, always got something positive, a good message. Chris and Martin, hello there.
Martin.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
How is everyone? Hey.
I am enjoying Canada today.
Welcome to New York. I'm in New York.
Yeah, I saw
I'm
the
Vaughn.
Canada
Hello.
Hey, Vaughn. Nice to meet you.
I saw the Canada flag behind you, Vaughn. Are you originally Canadian, or are you just trying to be courteous?
No, Debbie, who's here in the broadcast here, she's from Nova Scotia. She's been here at my house, and she brought her flag upon my request when she came.
Oh, fantastic!
And
Yes.
I met her through Periscope, became very close, and she came here for vacation, and
Couple times.
and I have my German flag in the middle, which is hard to see with the sunlight behind it because I'm just a stubborn crowd. And but I'm in New York, and my other half is the Irish flag. Yes, it's the McNugget flag.
Well, Martin's,
you guys are from Toronto.
Yeah, Martin's parents are German. They moved to Canada shortly after the war.
Well, yeah, they moved to Canada in 1958. So with two very young daughters. I wasn't even in the picture at the time. So I was born about 9 years later. Yeah.
And I'm English, Irish, Scottish, Parisian, French, Canadian, Native Indian. I was born and raised in Toronto, but Martin, you were born in Shelburne?
I was born in Shelburne, Ontario, which is about an hour and a half north of Toronto. And then when I was pretty young, we moved to Brantford, Ontario, which is sort of west of Toronto. And Brantford's famous because that's where Wayne Gretzky was born. Right. And I lived there until I met this one and decided to be crazy and move to Toronto. In 1987.
I met this one.
That's what right here.
Oh,
It worked.
I lived in Hamilton for about a year until a year ago.
Hamilton, yeah.
So not
Steeltown.
far from Brantford. Yeah.
Yeah, Hamilton's almost immediately between Toronto and Brantford.
So it's a classic big city kid and small town boy getting together and haven't gotten sick of each other yet.
That's right, yeah.
We're working on it.
That's awesome.
It's like
you guys feed off of each other well. Interact well.
We try to, yeah.
We try. We have to try. No, see, there's Shane. Shane is actually. I'll tell you a secret. Shane's not in Toronto.
Don't spoil it.
Shane's down in Texas, but
speaking of which,
she had moved to.
Yes.
She had moved to Vancouver to study animation, and her kitty cats came up. And this is back when Martin and I were living in Vancouver, and her first place that she lived in was a scam. And the night they let her, one day they let her cats out. They opened the window and let the cats out, and so it was sort of strange country. Like she brought her cats up from Texas, and she called us, just panicking. And so Martin and I got in the car and went, and literally we found the cat, and we grabbed both cats and her and all her stuff, and said, "You're living with us."
Just crammed it in the back of the car and brought her over to our place.
And we met her through Periscope like years ago. We've been on Periscope since the beginning, and she's been friends with us ever since. And we helped her find an actual place. She was living with us for what, 6 months, 5 months. 6 months?
Yeah.
I can't remember, Shane, how long, because it became a blur. And we would take her cats for a walk, and one of my cats, my cat. Walk on a leash. Yours will not.
No. So she's,
You guys are
when you
funny.
put her on a leash, she'll like hunker down and just refuse to move.
You guys
My
are
cat would
funny.
claw me to death if I even tried.
Yeah.
Well, the one cat, the one that's very attached to me is part Bengal. So
Looks like
he's
Shane switched over to
Bengals are wild. They're always into mischief.
He's
Oh, yeah. Oh God, yeah, and big. Just
Shane Cohen just said hello.
Yeah, there she is.
she switched over to Facebook. Wherever she is, she has a lot of troubles logging in with Happs. It freezes and stutters a lot for her, so she's able to watch it better on Facebook. Which unfortunately she can't see the comments now because she's on the other platform.
Right.
But that's okay. We'll read because Vaughn just said hello.
Once is a little.
I took my dog cat on a leash. And she's got 2 brand new kittens now. Her other 2 kitties passed away recently, but she's got 2 kittens now. How did we set this up? Rose,
Wow.
get yourself over to Happs.
I'm broadcasting, and you're on Rose. I see that you're on either Periscope or Twitter. If you come over,
He's on Twitter.
do you have a link in your profile, Edward?
Yeah, my profile is in there.
Okay. If you click on the link that's in the bio on either Edward's profile on Periscope or Twitter, and you click that link to join Happs, and then follow Edlin. Is it? How do you spell your handle? I can't see. I need my glasses. It's EDLYN. That's your handle. Mine is Kayvon631. Yeah, it's definitely. And once you're on Happs, you can see all the comments of all the platforms, like people from Facebook and Twitter and Periscope and Happs. You can see all the comments together once you're in the Happs app. But if you're viewing from the outside, you can only see that platform's comments.
So Debbie seems to have lost her signal.
Yeah, she was having connection issues earlier. She's on her phone, and she's got mediocre internet connection today.
Michelle, are you joining in on the costume contest tomorrow? We're having a COVID costume contest. Anything you can find in your place that you can turn into a costume. And we give you 15 minutes to show off. And the prize is a gift card to our brand new online store. So we've never done an online store before. It's a new thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, obviously, we just spent our broadcast the last hour trying to figure out how to set up the shipping, create shipping labels, pulling our hair out over it.
But we did it. We did it. We succeeded.
Good for you. You have a business that you promoted on here?
Well, we're starting to. We're prop makers and special effects people, as well as special skills actors. And
neat.
We've been doing this in professional cosplayers. So we've been doing this since we met in 1987. We kind of started in costume.
That's right.
And just kept going from there. And a Doctor Who convention too. Yeah, we are used to having requests happen, like usually a production or a cosplayer will get a hold of us. We design something, we make a quote, and we build afterwards. But because of COVID and the fact that we moved and came back to Toronto and settled just before the whole COVID lockdowns, what we came back for suddenly is not available. Shoots are still happening, but whereas you'd have a team of 30 people building, and you do it in 4 days because of the COVID restrictions here in Toronto. They can only have a team of like 5 people building, and they take 2 weeks, type thing. So they've increased the amount of time it takes to produce something, but decreased the amount of staff, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So you can't decrease the cast, so you can only decrease the other people. And so we went from having work guaranteed to no. So the government here, I don't know if it's Canada-wide, maybe, Debbie from Nova Scotia can say this, I don't know if she knows, but artists and people in the entertainment industry have been given grants to hire a designer from this one company to move them to an online store. So now for the first time ever, Martin and I have to come up with the product first.
As the commissions.
So we've been going through all the different products we have, or all the different materials we have, whatever did come across country, because we did leave a lot behind in BC, and we've been making things, just kind of guessing what our market's going to be. So there's not a huge investment right up front, because we're using materials that we already bought for something else or left over from production, and we're creating these things ahead of time. So it's both scary and exciting. So we thought we'd do a costume contest where you just find anything at home and turn it into a costume. Like take a T-shirt and marker it up, or draw something on a piece of paper and pin it to your shirt, and take a sheet and safety pin it to your shoulders.
Cardboard and tinfoil armor, something along those lines. Anything you can find at home. Really.
That's funny.
So we thought we'd do that and see if, it's a bit of last second, see if anyone wants to, do it and just get some free cards out to people to the store. So it's $10 for second and third place, and then it's a $20 gift card for first place. And
Store, yeah.
last year, not last year, last month, we started a story time. So anyone who sponsors us $5 and over, or anyone who has a $5 award once in that month, gets written into a story. And Martin and I will dress up in our costumes when we read it. And we did Middle Earth last month. And I was in my elf, and Martin was in his ranger.
Yep.
And we read away. We made Peter and Pablo into Ents. You know, they're very helpful trees.
They really are. Those two are great. They participated.
Yeah, we included them because they did a lot of hard work to guarantee that we can get up and going and all that kind of stuff. And there was what we wound up with 12 characters plus us.
11 plus.
11 plus us.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle was in it.
Right.
Michelle was in it. It was great. Michelle, that's okay. We've changed the submission rule to 7:00. We'll take submissions during comments, and then at 8:00 we'll actually start the contest. So you can decide last second. I know you've got some great wardrobe stuff.
Let me make sure that I'm following you.
So we're doing a lot of crazy things now on Happs, and we love this multi-screen thing. And it's nice not having to use OBS. It's nice to just be able to do it within.
Oh my God. I've said that so many times. That would stress me out so much when I would have to set up OBS on Periscope, and it would take me an hour to get it going. And if the computer was glitchy, it was just
right.
And I have OCD, so I would get obsessive, and it was just. And then Periscope, they started getting glitchy with Periscope Producer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you couldn't. There were certain things you couldn't do. You couldn't have audio guests with the producer. It was just OBS was just so much work. I couldn't even. This was a dream when I came on this platform. I said, "Holy crap! Look at this!"
Everything we want all in one spot, right?
Yeah, really, just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's definitely an easier, like, I mean, I can throw the intro video up now and the extra video and being able to bring multi-screen. I remember with OBS, I was doing long distance interviews by opening up a FaceTime window.
Yeah,
and
I did Snapchat.
There you go. And then just bringing it over,
Sure, yeah.
you know.
Presenting the FaceTime window on screen.
But it was so awkward. It was so awkward to do. This is really easy.
Yeah, you had to have two. They had to have two devices if they were going to read the comments, and it was just really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the great thing is we have multiple devices going, or we have multiple camera angles, right? We got a webcam on us, or we've got another camera on
the cutter,
like a mobile phone or something as a camera on our laser cutter, or on the work beam. You know, it's really it's handy because it's all right there. Just connect it all, and it's almost seamless.
Right.
OBS gave me pounds. Michelle, I love you.
Shane says I was downloading a video, wondering if that was why it slowed down my video.
It could be.
I've learned, like, I have a new computer, a new Mac, and the internet is pretty strong here, and I didn't realize sometimes I'm sitting here with 3 or 4 devices all connected to the internet, and I'm wondering why it's getting glitchy. And I'm thinking it's pulling all in the same area.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that I turn off the internet on the devices that I don't need to use.
Oh, but Shane likes your accent.
What accent? I don't have a freaking accent. It's you that has the accent.
That's right.
Let me get my
Jane's
water.
from Texas, but she doesn't sound like a Texan.
No, she doesn't.
My water. I'm gonna get it in the car.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Yeah. And Edward knows. He was from Massachusetts. He knows that we don't have an accent in the Northeast at all.
That's right.
Nah, not at all.
We were in LA in '99.
We're gonna park the car.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
in Boston.
Yep. And it's so funny. And when I'm pissed off, and especially if I've had a few beverages, it sounds like I'm from the mafia in Brooklyn.
True.
I don't pronounce R's. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Nice.
Everyone else sounds weird, not us.
Well, exactly. I mean, when I was in, sorry, Debbie, you're quiet, honey. I can't hear you. Okay,
So
now I can
sweet.
hear you. Do you have a Scotian accent, darling?
Probably, but I don't know. I have a list. That's what people want more than anything else.
That doesn't sound it. When I was in California in '99 in classes, no one would believe I was Canadian. Not a one of them. They're like, "You're from Buffalo, right?" I said, "Well, north of that, yes." But you can't be Canadian. You talk like you're from Buffalo. I'm like, I didn't realize Buffalo was that distinct, but okay, sure. And they wouldn't. I had to keep pulling out my passport and going, no, see, I'm Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian. Born and raised, dude. But yeah, it was so frustrating because we don't sound Canadian here.
No.
We're polite.
No, it's funny. Some people do. I don't think Debbie does, at least. Toronto and Ontario, in that area, they like our friend Joan. You could tell she has the same accent as Michael Bathurst. The way they pronounce their O, and it's just I can't even pinpoint certain things, but I can hear it when they're from that area. I can tell a difference. But Canada, I mean Nova Scotia, I don't know what the accent would be, but
where you're from in Nova Scotia. If you're from Cape Breton, that can be confused with a Newfoundland accent. So very close.
It's very heavy in the sort of Scottish and Irish kind of sound to the accent.
Yes, we were talking.
It's hard to understand sometimes.
Yes, it is. It's very Irish. It's very, very Irish. It's very frustrating.
Lord thunder and Jesus.
Yep.
And of course, there's the French Canadian accent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My grandmother was French Canadian, and we always learned all the swear words. We would come home because she was in Welland, Ontario, and it's a French town in an English predominantly speaking province, but it's a little French town. And we'd come back and we'd be looking at my mother going, "Hey, what's Maudzy?" And my mother would be like, "No, don't say that.
You can't say that word."
Tabernacle, not that one either."
Mm-hmm. Colis.
Leave it to the kids to learn all the swear words first, right?
Oh, I'm gonna have to learn them now.
Mm-hmm.
You just did.
Well, I'm from Montreal originally. I was born and raised until I was 7.
Okay.
So I'm French Canadian, but grew up English.
Nice.
Grew up speaking English. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not a francophone. You're.
No.
Yeah.
Anishinaabe Canadian has a bit of a lilt to it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle's right.
So it's sort of the combination of the European immigrant accent with the native, like First Nations accent.
Edward, very right. Very, very, very
Yep.
right. Yeah, it is, and it's, it was kind of funny when Shane came up from Texas because she doesn't have a Texas accent. She does not sound your stereotypical Texan. Mm-hmm. And we kept saying to her, "You're a liar. Where are you originally from?" And she's like, No, Texas. So you're a liar. And we just kept saying that and just bothered her and teased her, of course, good-heartedly. But then she started kind of mimicking all the different Vancouver area accents because BC's got a much slower way of speaking. And they actually pronounce their G's at the end of their words. So, someone from Toronto says going, doing, saying. Yeah, someone from Vancouver says going, doing, saying. And she started mimicking them. And I'm like, that's not fair, honey. No, don't pronounce things the way you want to. And she's like, I'm having so much fun. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. So I keep telling her to come to Toronto where she can fit in and speak faster.
Mm-hmm.
Pronouncing the G's. Going, doing, saying.
And the T's are D's. So like when we don't say Toronto, we say Toronto.
Wow.
And you
So,
really can't even tell, Edward. You don't have a real distinct accent from any region either.
not anymore, because of I've been in California now 27 years. But when I go back to Springfield, immediately it comes back pretty quickly when you're around the people that speak in that distinct accent.
That's
So it comes
true.
back
Mhm.
very quickly.
Mhm.
Especially my family still lives there, and sometimes when we're talking either on Zoom or on the phone, it comes right back pretty quick. So it's pretty interesting. So one of the things that I like to do, especially when you're getting together, and I also do this when families come into our funeral home or cemetery, is called information. If you look at what I typed, information, and how we formatting each other is
Okay.
forming. What we're doing now, talking about accent, that's a form of forming on how we get to know each other.
Mhm.
But we break down the acronym. The first thing we do is talk about family, like I was sharing with you guys earlier. My mom and dad was married 58 years, and I'm the 15th of 17 children. So
Wow.
I grew up in a house with 9 sisters, a mother and a grandmother, and my dad.
Wow.
So when you have that many siblings, it helps you go through and do that. The O stands for occupation. I've been in the cemetery funeral profession for 32 years. I have the opportunity every day of helping families make arrangements in advance while their emotions are at rest. And we also get to celebrate people's life every day. So I want people to see the funeral profession and the cemetery profession in a whole different light. So I always say to people, they say, well, what type of profession do you have or occupation? I say, well, I occupy the place of life. I get
Mhm.
to see people every day where I get to occupy when their family members walk into our funeral home or cemetery. I get to sit with their children. I get to sit with their spouse. I get to sit with their friends, people they work with. So I get to occupy that space because that's what occupation really means. And
Mhm.
then the R stands for recreation, what we like to do. When I met my wife, I always ask her, what are some of the things you enjoy doing? So she loved to travel, and I love to travel, and that's one of the things we've done. So I've had the privilege of going to 50 countries on 5 continents and getting to go all over the world and see different things and just be very grateful to the things in people's language, which we talked about accents, people, cultures, and leadership and all the different things that happen, I think is extremely nice. And then the M in the word form is motivation. What is your biggest motivation? My motivation since I was a child, my dad says he did not care if we ever got good grades or things like that. He wanted us to, but his biggest motivation was family. He said, I want you to be a husband. I want you to be a father. And that was my motivation. So growing up from very young child, that was my motivation to have a wife and a family. My biggest accomplishment in life is not the business that we own, it's the business I'm in.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And I've seen you speak on a lot of other people's broadcasts as well, and I've always enjoyed what you say, Edward. I really do. It was a tough thing for me because our family was never very solid, and my father and I were like one family, and my 3 siblings and my mother were like another. The divorce really did a number on how all 4 children saw life, and I saw it very differently. I very much wanted to be my father's child and succeeded in that. But when he passed away, he went by heart attack, and I had gotten him to stop drinking. And then when I moved to BC, he started drinking. And there was no support for me. I had to come back and deal with him passing and picking up his ashes. I already cremated him before I even got back.
Oh boy.
And the family was very nasty. They came in and threw his whole career in the garbage can when it was supposed to go to a journalism museum. So I spent a lot of time fighting with them and lost the fight. I just stood back. I managed to rescue a few tapes and a couple pictures type thing, but most of it went into a dumpster. And it was a horrific experience. And I still have his ashes. I'm hoping to save up money to be able to bury him. We found his brother. He lost his brother at the age of 14. So he's in an unmarked grave in a cemetery. just outside the city in one of the small towns that they were traveling around to. So he's out in Coburg. So we've gotten permission from the cemetery for a $900 fee on the condition that we do a stone to specs. So I want to put the brothers back together. I want to put the boys back together and not have him in my home, but have him back with his brother, which he always
Nice.
talked about. He was very close to his brother, so to lose him at such a young age was tough. So I want to put the boys back together, and that's my goal. The rest of the family doesn't understand why I would want to spend money on that, but it's something very personal. Whereas Martin, when he lost his, actually yesterday was the anniversary of your mom's
Yesterday
passing.
was 1 year since my mom passed. She was 89.
Mike,
The
Sorry to hear
previous
that.
year, on December 6th, my father passed back in 2019, and he was 92.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both had very excellent lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary
Wow.
had
Wow.
lived. Yeah.
Had they lived, yeah.
So,
But your
so,
family was
so you
so
guys see the F? You guys see that F so far?
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Look how much family that Chris and Martin just shared with us, and how powerful just the conversation about these two brothers and the mom and the dad. 70 years. Listen, people do keep their word. Till death do them part. My parents made 58 years. Till death do them part. Let's make sure we celebrate the things in life that are actually happening, not what people tell us that is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
my
all
parents
experience
made
good things in
59.
life,
And
know.
it's so different between us because, like, his parents prepaid for everything so that their children didn't have to worry about it. And, there was an immense amount of support in the chapel, and so different from mine. And, people say it's the differences that attract, and we've got enough in common that we can do a lot of the same things together and not get sick. People are like, how are you together for so long? A, we didn't have children. I'm not sharing my toys with any child, quite frankly. And, and B, we have a lot in common when it comes to building things and creating and acting and performing. And there's a lot of unity there, but our families are so different from each other, so drastically different that when we deal with each other's family, it's a fresh experience for the other person. And that's part of what keeps it fresh is, when he deals with my family, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. How'd you survive? And then when we deal with his, it's like, there's a lot of control.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. How did you survive?
Yeah, how did you survive? There's a lot of control,
In a
but
different way.
they're closer to what you would perceive as the stereotype, and it's somehow managed to get them to survive. So
Yeah.
we both survived too. I could not handle your parents if I was one of their children. I just would not. I would have just, that would have been way too much, and you would not.
Excuse me, is it Christine or Chris? What do you prefer to be? I heard
It's Christina.
Christina.
I use Chris on the ID for two reasons. Number one, it takes less space, less physical space when you type out.
Yeah, so somebody wrote Christina before. That's what I wanted to. I can relate to that. I come from a mix of both. Between the two of you, and my family is not all cooperative.
Right.
And my father left this earth last January. Same thing. And my parents were together 59 years. My mom's alone now. It was a little, like I said, it was a little bit of some family members were respectful and conscious of what was happening and how other people in the family felt, and some other people were less concerned, would be the nicest way to put it. And my father did not make the correct plans, and we come from a family that should have made plans, but my parents were dysfunctional together, but they stayed together. So we have a mix of both your families in my family. So
my mom was pregnant with me when she got married, and I'm the second child. So my older brother was born out of wedlock, which technically makes him a bastard. Which, as a child, I had no problems reminding him of that. And then she got pregnant with me, and my father looked at her and said, "Listen, your adopting mother," because my grandmother wasn't blood, she adopted my mom, is very much Catholic. And we already have one kid out of wedlock. I don't think she's going to be happy if we have another one out of wedlock. So she was pregnant with me. She was 3 months pregnant with me when they got married. And then my younger sister came 2 years after me. And then the youngest boy came about a year and a half after my sister. And then they divorced when the youngest was only 2 years old. So that means they were together maybe 8 years, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they weren't together very long, but they definitely had a wild ride when they were. You know, they definitely just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And the story goes that she got pregnant with a fifth child, and she wound up aborting or losing. I don't know. It depends on which parent you talk to. But that was, I think, the final thing for my father. He couldn't
Right.
fathom what was going on for him. So yeah, they did divorce when the youngest was 2. So it was interesting watching a 2-year-old grow up, in 2 and 3.5 between the 2 youngest ones. Like the 2 older ones, myself and my older brother handled it a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it was, positive, but at the same time, it created a bond between myself and my older brother, and the 2 younger ones really bonded in a very different way. So it's like we became this split family, and we were together, but we were just, if I wanted to talk about something, I went to my older brother. I didn't bother talking to the younger 2, and the younger 2 talked to each other as well. They very rarely came to the older 2 for anything. So it was interesting watching us, create that energy simply because of our age and what happened with the divorce and how our brains handled it at the ages we were. So it was interesting. And then growing up in Toronto, a big overpopulated city, I remember being 8 years old and going down Yonge Street and playing in the arcades until 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Until the arcade kicked you guys out.
Yeah.
Well, Edward, you come from a large family, don't you?
Where are your
Yes.
parents?
I mean, even in a family that stays together, just siblings tend to, when there's that many, they end up taking care of the others that are younger because the parents can't handle all of it.
Yeah. Well, my mom was pregnant with me when 3 of my sisters were pregnant at the same time.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
I have,
Well,
I have,
family, there's got to be that kind of an age range.
yeah. So I have nieces and nephews that are older than I. I think I was 15 or 16, and I was already a great uncle.
Oh wow.
So there were things that happened that were pretty huge. But I think that just the fact that we're talking about family, and this is one of the things I told you I'm going to be sharing on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. on specific time. Just talk about family, talk about things that are important, talk about people get together, whether we all like to admit it or not. There is a common bond among us, whether there are siblings, some of us call them step siblings or whatever, or even if our parents did not know what it's like to function properly, they were still our parents. Like I share with people all the time, I did not choose my parents, but I'm glad they were my parents. I did not choose the country I was born in. I'm just glad I was born in the country I am. I did not choose that I was going to be born a male. So there's certain things that I look at as being facts that you just cannot change because those are choices that were already designed for us. So one of the things I always say, our destination or destiny is designed by God. Our determination and how we get there is designed by us.
Well,
So
you're-
we all have to make sure that we impact life in a different way. Am I going to be an influencer? Am I going to make the world a better place? I'm going to add value to it. Or am I going to be a person that just take? I learned something. Whenever you plant seed, it does produce a lot more than just a seed. Like I share with my children, you can plant a seed. There's going to be a root system that goes deep into the earth. There's going to be sap. There's going to be bark. There's going to be branches. There's going to be leaves before the fruit ever appear. This is what everyone needs to, realize. And it's just simply amazing as we move forward in everything that we do. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah.
Well, you were at 16. You were a ring bearer at both of your sisters' weddings.
Yep.
Because you were a whoops. You were the last egg in her body.
I was the unexpected. Yeah, I think I was actually. Yeah, my sisters are 16 and 12 years older than me, so they were practically moved out of the house by the time I was
old enough
old enough to go to
realize.
school.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That was interesting meeting his sisters. I'm like, they got kids and everything, and you were an uncle by the time you were 12.
12. Yeah, I was an uncle at 12.
Wow.
So in a way, I can relate, Edward. Yeah.
Yeah. So you understand, but the part I love, Chris and Martin, is that you both are talking about the family and sharing 70 years. I mean, just think about that. Some people can't stay together 70 days. 70 years.
Mhm.
70 years. 70 years says a lot about the number of decisions that they made, the commitments that they made, the struggles they've been through, how many things they accomplished. You know, like I tell my mom and dad who made 58 years, I am so grateful that they did what they said in their vow, till death do us part. I am very fortunate that I was with two parents that said, you know what, through everything that we go through, we're not going to bail out. We're going to stay here and make it happen.
Well,
And whether we think it was functional or dysfunctional, I just like the fact that sometimes, and I do that even with my business, sometimes everything doesn't go the way you want it to go. But you know what? You still got to push through it.
like her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
definitely did not go the
No.
way we wanted it to go.
No.
No.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Colin. Colin, always beautiful.
I love Colin. He's just such a
Yeah, well put.
good guy.
But we decided that because we went to England for our honeymoon because we met at a Doctor Who convention, so
We
it
love
seemed to
all
make
things
sense.
British, right?
It seemed to make sense to go to England, and his parents offered to pay for most of the bigger expenses, so basically a transit pass and the flight and the hotel
Mhm.
as a wedding gift. And they were kind of shocked when we said England. They're like, "Why not Florida or somewhere nice?" We're like, "England."
Mhm.
And I was on the train, and we were headed out to Leeds Castle, and I was crying my eyes out because the wedding did not go, the way I needed it to go, and it was so much pressure. And Martin leans across to me and says, "Listen, why don't we do this? You stop crying. Here's the deal. You're not going to cry anymore on this trip. You're just not. This is our honeymoon. And we will renew our vows on our 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And no family invited. No family, just friends.
No, no meddling family
So
trying to take control.
we did, and it was better than the actual original wedding.
Hey, Rose, welcome to Happs.
Hey,
You came and
Rose,
joined
yeah,
us.
welcome to Happs. Nice. And we did renew our vows on our 10th, and we decided it was so much better than the original wedding. It was so much more fun that we renewed our vows again on our 20th. And this is our 30th year married, and
Wow.
33 years together.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Yes.
We want to do it again. We've decided that every 10 years we're just going to have a vow renewal. So the trick is it probably won't happen in June because of the whole COVID thing. So we're
Yeah.
probably going to aim for August, which is my birthday month, and make it a birthday gift this year. And that should hopefully everything. We're going to go outdoors. We're going to go, where people can be COVID friendly and careful and safe still. And we're going to renew our vows again this year. Because why not?
Awesome.
10 years. We're
I
just
think we'll be in good shape by then. I think we'll be.
Yeah.
I think we'll have this behind us. I believe.
That's true. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that you want to renew your vow. And I share this with my wife all the time. Is that it's better to share your vows than a promise. Promises are broken. Vows you keep.
Absolutely.
Well,
Very well
and
put, yeah.
we recognize, and this is the hardest thing people ask, about being married so long. How do we do it, especially Gen Xers, because very few Gen Xers stay together, and coming
Yeah,
back
a
to
lot of
Toronto.
the couples that we knew 25, 30 years ago are not together anymore.
No, they're not.
Mhm.
And we simply said that the hardest thing about staying together, especially when you're a Gen Xer, because of what we fought for and that individual ID, and everyone can be everything, which is inspirational, but once you try to live it, it's too much. You burn out.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being honest.
I've burned out a few times. I've learned the lesson over and over again. But you change. Experience changes you. And if the two of you can't look at each other and say, okay, what change am I willing to live with, and what change am I not able to live with? There's a difference between willing and able. You got to look at the changes. You got to reassess, and that's why we set the anniversary, the 10-year mark for renewal. Because if the two of us ever do get to a point where there's just too many changes, then we won't do the renewal. We'll just continue life as friends. But The renewal basically says that we've had the discussion, we've recognized each other's changes, we haven't killed each other yet, so we're going to renew our vows.
Yeah. So,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations. So one of the things you said, and I think it's important for us to remember, is that how unique are each one of us? How wonderfully made are we? And why don't we celebrate each other's differences versus push them away? Like I share with my wife all the time. Why would I ever blow out her candle for who she is? You know, there's never been another person on the planet like her. 7.8 billion people on the planet. So what I like to do is celebrate her differences, celebrate how she approaches life, celebrate the fact that she's analytic and that she looks at things different than I do, versus saying, what can I do to accept you? No, I celebrate you. I celebrate everything about you. And when you do that, then you are not in competition. Because I tell my wife all the time, we are not in competition with each other. You are my completion.
That's awesome, Edward.
Debbie, how about your family? Are you the youngest, the oldest?
Excuse me, guys. Give me 1 second. I just have there's some activity at my front door, and I got to go see what's going on. I'll be right back. So keep.
Okay.
It's a check, Vaughn. It's a check.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
hoping
the
so. I hope so.
Get closer. We narrow
Get
now.
closer.
We're in this
We're-
narrow little box now.
Go ahead, Deb.
Go ahead, Deb.
Family.
I'm the oldest in my family. So I come from, my parents were divorced, my original parents. I was raised by my mom and my stepfather. I have one biological brother who's 2 years younger and a stepsister. I was telling Edward and Vaughn earlier that my father is, he's has terminal cancer. So dealing with that right now and all the feelings that come with that and the thoughts about not having any control over any of it. It's really frustrating and dealing with a lot of anger. So meeting Edward today has been definitely a highlight, definitely something that needed to happen in my life today. So it's been a bad week.
Oh,
But
honey.
it's good now. It's getting better.
Debbie, a bad moment. A bad moment.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not the whole week.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Moments shouldn't define the
You're
overall.
right, Edward.
What do you
I
mean?
need to think.
No, okay. Hold on. I'll be back.
We're dropping like flies.
I know.
Sunday there will be a broadcast with 3 empty windows.
I'm there. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm here. Let me see. Here we go. Hello. Okay.
As we all juggle around.
Sorry about that. Yeah. It's musical windows.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Yeah, it's funny. I just found that series on IMDb. They have the entire series. I started watching it from the beginning.
Do you know what you need to watch? Did you ever watch the Carol Burnett show when it was on?
Yeah. I found that on one of them. Hulu.
Oh my gosh. I love watching those old. I remember watching it as a kid, like, when it was live, and I and the jokes are so different as an adult now, but
Definitely.
And as much
Such a
as
great
as
show,
much as
my
it was
God.
scripted, there were just so many priceless ad lib.
Yeah, and you can see them
That's the
trying not
best
to laugh.
You know,
yeah,
Tim
they were
Conway and
making
Harvey
each other
Korman.
laugh all the time.
Debbie, if I can interrupt you, tilt your camera up because we're looking at your chin.
Oopsie, we don't want to see that.
No, it's pretty good chin. Even more.
That's what happens when you're on the landscape
Even
mode.
more.
You see your whole face, and then it goes back to portrait.
Yeah, and she's on a phone, so she's using portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look
You
at
got that little
the,
safe zone.
if you look at, no, you already started that way. You can't do that. Oh, wait, let you.
Yeah.
Hey,
It
readjust.
doesn't. It doesn't turn with it like Periscope.
No, I don't think it worked.
Debbie, do that again.
Is she still in the little preview?
Yeah,
Is
hang
she
on.
still on?
Do that again. Turn it sideways and hold it. Hold it. There,
It
it does work now. They fixed it.
They must
Oh,
have.
they fixed it.
What? Pablo and Peter. Yay!
Yeah, I can read the comments.
Oh, good. It rotates and puts them over to the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Good.
So right now
I
we're on
have
our
to-
computer, so we're using Broadcast Studio.
I hate to go, but I have to get the dogs out for pee and
Okay,
then
huh?
start
important.
supper.
That's very important.
Yeah, definitely follow each other. Debbie's a dear friend of mine. Anybody else? Definitely. Really good to see you, honey. It's been a long time. I miss you.
I know. I love you. I miss you
Love you
so
too.
much. You and Joe. I miss you guys tons.
Yeah, we'll get you guys. Well, we'll get you here after this plague is behind us, or it's under control.
I'll be back.
But yeah, we'll sneak you across the border.
Yeah.
She'll be back and in greater numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so
And Gloria
good
says, "I
meeting
know,
everyone.
I know."
It's a pleasure to meet you, Debbie.
Yeah.
And say bye to Edward
talking to
for
you.
me.
I will. Actually, if you write it in the comments, he'll see it even after you leave.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
All right, honey, love you.
Okay, I love you too.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
See you soon,
Happy
baby.
weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Sit up, Chris. Regarding that, I didn't want to interrupt you before. Are you on Twitter?
What?
We have a
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
You were saying something about you were trying to collect money to have your father buried with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're on Twitter, is it the same handle? Because I'll send you a message there.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I'd like to contribute to that cause.
Thank you so much, man.
Man, you're gonna make me cry.
Put a little bit toward that.
It's coming up
So
on
I'll
14 years since her father passed this May.
And we've been carrying him
We've
everywhere.
been carrying his ashes everywhere since then.
Yes, it's the same handle. It's the same handle on all accounts. Our Twitter, our Facebook, our Happs, our
Instagram,
our Twitch. I barely use Twitch, but our Twitch, our Instagram,
Right.
even our PayPal. What we did is we back in BC, a lot of bad things happened that got us to move back to Toronto. We kind of should have moved back 6 years ago, but chose to stay. I'm one of these very stubborn souls that it tends to be very out to prove things, and that
Right.
you can overcome anything. And of course, sometimes I don't stop to think about what is impossible. And we had a co-producer that took us for $279,000.
boy.
Slandered left, right, and center, slandered me, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. The problem with Vancouver is it's such a smaller population that once someone does something like that to you, you're done. You're just done. And couldn't breathe, couldn't do anything, couldn't function, couldn't. So that's part of the reason we moved back. It's a big part of the reason we moved back. Plus, hormonally, I wound up perimenopausal for a very long period of time, and the medical system did nothing about it there. So I was fluctuating in hormones up and down all the time. And
Sorry to hear that.
worked for me somehow. But
It rains and pours.
so yeah, within 3 months of being back in Ontario, a specialist had me in surgery, and my hormones have been slowly calming down since. And I'm now officially menopausal, so it's a whole new physical to have to deal with and communicate with. But it was a hell of a struggle to come back.
Right.
We're back, and it's working. It's just taking its sweet time working out. But that put me behind on being able to bury him. But yeah, it's the expenses. Like, it's $900 to put him in the ground, but it's, we're trying to still find a better quote for a
for a marker.
for the
right?
marker, because the one you
Slab
got
of
was
granite and have it engraved with both his and his brother's names and dates, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Edward, you're muted for some reason.
Yeah, he's on a business call.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
voice to the phone now.
Yeah, I think he did that on purpose. The I love you too, Debbie. Yeah, I just sent you a message. I followed you, I believe, I sent you a message. Yeah, so we can
Excellent.
talk about that.
Thank you so much.
The Rose or Ruse, if you don't mind, give me a little bit. But yeah, it's yeah, I'd like to have you join too. Let me just, if you're not in a yeah, I'd like to have you join, Rose. Yeah, by all means. Let me see. Do you know how to join? Let me ask you that.
We have brand
I
new
think Rose just joined.
Ruse. Ruse.
Yeah, she just joined. Yeah,
Rose. Yeah, from Twitter.
yeah. Well,
Just joined on the Happs. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the good thing with having control of the studio is if it's you never know what you're going to expect when it's somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
But
You control the vertical. You control the horizontal.
yeah.
We stopped
So
on Periscope when they did the voice talk-in thing, call-in thing.
Mhm.
We stopped saying yes to anyone we didn't already meet through the comments, through the text. So you had to watch. We put it 5. You had to watch 5 of our broadcasts
Mhm.
and communicate via text first before we let you on to talk, because it just like the number of times
yeah.
people would get on and right
Yeah,
off
you get trolled, especially there. That was such a troll environment. It really was terrible, and it's or it could be terrible. It was a totally different atmosphere on there. It was a troll environment from day one, and there was no governing what was happening on there. So it really, it was just a constant roasting of everybody, and really anything went.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I didn't like.
Trolls during the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we
Yep.
started doing, because most of the stuff we did on Periscope was builds in the beginning, and that's when we got our biggest audience, was teaching people how to build things. And it got so bad that we couldn't focus on the builds, so we stopped doing the builds and started doing more general conversations or showing things after they'd been built as opposed to the process, because it was easier. And Martin and I started becoming known as the couple who trolled the trolls.
Yeah.
Someone would
And I
say,
used to do that.
yeah, you just troll back, right? They go, "Oh, you're ugly."
Totally.
Yeah, some people think I'm ugly. That's great. I'm so happy you recognize that. And
And just not be phased by it. Right? And eventually they ran out of steam.
I have this phone here that I used to pick up, and I would pretend like I was transferring them to my secretary named Madge. We had this whole script, and and the cool thing about Periscope is everybody could see when that person was finally blocked. So I would just troll the shit out of them, and then as soon as I hit that thing, and it was, and with OBS, I had the whole screen turned into this big, block letters of "FU." So it was, and it became that Periscope became a troll environment, and that was one of the things.
it's only a matter of time before they come over here. And Rose, I agree, but there's sometimes where the openness just makes you a complete target. And Martin and I had to completely change our format again. We were very open about an experience that happened to us back in BC, and it just became a mess. We wound up being targets more than we were before that, and it was we didn't want to be open ever again.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Ed. I just want to let you know, I'm gonna Rose. I'm gonna send an invite. Just wanted to let you know, because I know you're muted. In case you can. Okay, good. Debbie said goodbye. She had to leave when you were out. Okay, and she said so in the comments.
No, I saw her, Vaughn. I saw when she left.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so I just sent the invite to Rose. If you don't know how to join, go out, go to the bottom, hit go live, and then you'll see the title of our current broadcast, the Friday Chit Chat. You just click that, and then I'll.
We've got about another 20 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys came in. It's really nice to meet you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We could join.
It's nice to meet you too, Vaughn. It's nice to meet you today.
Yep, absolutely. Getting so much of you today. I love it.
It's just I have that
Who's going to
opportunity.
be jealous?
Say again?
I said everybody's going to be jealous that we got so much of you today.
No, it's okay. Chris and Martin, it's also nice to meet you too, and I'm very fortunate that we have the opportunity to chat, and I'm glad I got to know you guys a little bit. So very nice.
Appreciate that, Edward.
Hello, Rose.
Rose.
How are you?
Hello. Hello.
Rose has got to move the camera back a little bit to get more of a face.
We see
Yeah.
See that? Actually, I'm going to move into a different environment. I'm going to switch off the music. Don't worry.
That's okay. Hopefully you're having a good day.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did I see that Rose was from Amsterdam? Is that
That's right.
are you in it?
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Welcome
set
to New
this up.
York.
I was watching Debbie, and I only saw her mouth in the screen, but I could see four pictures of you guys, and they were all just as big. But now I can see tiny little pictures of you guys, and I see myself. So if I move kind of to the bottom of the screen, I guess for the viewers, I'll be totally in view, right?
It sounds like your microphone is muffled or something. Are you guys hearing?
Yeah,
little
it sounds a little
crackling
crackling.
and
All right, that's better. That's better.
Okay. So I'll just set you guys here. Is that okay?
That's much better.
That's better. Much perfect. That's perfect. It's centered perfectly. Okay. How are you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm alive, and I'm here, and I'm happy. So that makes my whole past makes a success, right? Because
Yes,
if anything in my past didn't happen, I wouldn't be here.
that's right. Our path brought us to. As long as you're happy where you are today, the path then the path was good, regardless of what bumped us along.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. How is so? Are you 4 hours ahead of us or 5? What time is it there? 9 o'clock.
It's 10:15 in the evening.
So 5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Five,
Yeah,
5 hours.
5:15 here in New York.
Yeah, you're in New York. That's right, fun. So
Yeah, Toronto's been nicknamed the Northern New York for many reasons.
Yeah, New York's hat.
New York 2.0.
Yeah, and Ed is out in California, so he's 3 hours behind. So it's 2 p.m. 2:15 his time.
Right.
Rose is in Holland.
How good do you know each other?
I've been watching Edward I've been watching more than you because you've been running around a lot.
Yeah.
But I've been watching Edward for a while now on other people's broadcasts.
Mhm.
And, it's nice to actually be able to talk to him because I've been itching to, but not been able to do so. And I know I stumbled on Vaughn in another broadcast and subscribed to him back then. But this is the first chance I've gotten to actually get on and speak with him. So, I see, Rose, I've already followed you as well. I've already subscribed to you. So I'm assuming that I probably saw comments from you on another broadcast and decided that they were delightful enough or, entertaining enough that I had to follow you or subscribe to you as well. So this is the first time I've physically been in a space. But you're all been subscribed to for reasons.
It's still digitally, right?
Pardon me?
But yeah, it's close. It's getting close.
Yeah, we're all in the
I know.
virtual space. The virtual space. Yeah.
Rose has gone silent now.
Muted.
Breaking up a little.
I can't hear her.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I think the audio is cutting in and out on Rose.
I'm going to reload because everyone's silent.
Yes, you have to reload it.
At our end.
I'm going to blank out for a moment.
Okay. Okay, Rose, can you talk? I just want to check out your. Now I see my own image. It's frozen too.
There we go.
I
Okay.
think
Now, is there sound? No, there's still no sound.
It didn't go to that. No, it shouldn't.
Did it go to the
I'm
earbuds?
getting glitchy
It
did,
sound
yeah.
from Rose.
What?
I can hear it in the box.
Why did it switch
Oh.
to earbuds?
It's being weird. No.
I can hear. I was able to hear you guys. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
can hear you.
For
Our computer
some
keeps
reason-
switching between its own speakers and the wireless earbuds that we use when we broadcast. So we weren't using them, and suddenly everything went quiet.
They
You can
suddenly
hear this
went
little
on
voices
the-
coming from the little box that the earbuds.
I've had that happen. I've had sometimes if I remote start my car because it's so cold here. I remote start my car. Sometimes my phone will connect to my car, and I'm in the house, and I'll get a phone call, and I'll go to answer it, and I'll get all pissed off because I can't hear the person. Meanwhile, they're talking to me in my car.
Yay! The miracles of modern technology.
Yeah.
It makes our lives so much easier.
Yeah, but
Yeah, if I'm
does this officially make your car your secretary?
Pretty much, and I yell at it just as much. I'm kidding. But when I want the thing to connect to the car, it doesn't. When I'm in it. But yeah, the first world problems.
Mhm.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Vaughn, I
Yeah.
still see the sun. It's about 5:17, right?
Yeah. Thanks to the change in the
Daylight.
time. It stays
Thing here, yeah.
Sunset is now. Let's see what the time is. It gets every day is a minute later. Let me see. It tells me here. Sunset happens at 7:03 already here.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I love it.
So
And what,
people must close the door for us, yeah.
What part of New York?
Long Island,
Long Island. Okay.
about an hour east of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Out by the Islip Airport. If you've ever flown through here.
Yes. I've flown through
Stony
there a
Brook.
couple of times. JFK, LaGuardia, all of them. I've driven through there. Actually, I work with funeral homes in Patterson and right over the bridge. I work with the Ben Memorial Marker Company. It's a
Okay.
big marker company that does all upright monuments, both in New York and in New Jersey.
Mhm.
Very
So-
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pine Lawn is a big cemetery up by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have when I was kids. My mother had friends in Long Island, so every summer we'd go down for a week,
Hmm.
just hang out. I don't remember where they were or who they were. I just remember that they were friends of my mother's, and they had two sons, and the four of us would just play with the two boys. And I don't remember anything but that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was the first
it's
time.
a very big island. It's 110 miles long and 20 miles wide, I think, at its most distant, or widest, north to south, and it's surrounded by water. So
Can we hear each other?
I
I
was
can-
just,
Yeah.
We
so
can
far.
now, yes, Rose.
Okay, Rose, can Rose hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Now we can. Yes.
Yeah.
I think
It
it
was
was
cutting in and out, but it's better. Yeah.
I hooked up to the. Oh, now it's fine.
Nice.
It sounds
There
okay
is
to
a-
me now. Yeah, it was.
So is there a specific reason that you, Vaughn, and you guys did not put your location because you have no location on your description?
I don't because of
I think we overlooked that.
Oh,
because of Twitter and doxing and people's because it's such a small place that I'm at. It's very easy to find me if somebody wanted to.
Okay,
Mhm.
understand.
Um,
I was just
Yeah,
Curious.
yeah. Because of my job and because of things that I experience on Periscope, I don't reveal the exact location, and this is a little too precise on here.
yes.
well, thankfully
that's-
it's not as precise as Periscope was, because Periscope actually did a dot where you were.
Right.
Because we actually had someone come looking for us back when we were
Physically
regulars
looking
on,
for us. Yeah.
but physically knocking
had-
on doors on my whole block to find us. And eventually they did. And
Yeah, pretending to be some kind of surveyors or something.
Yeah. and they actually found us because of the Periscope location thing. I don't know why Toronto isn't showing, because it does on our profile. We put the location.
We said it when we started broadcast too, right? So
Yeah. So I'm
Yes.
not sure
Let me see
why.
if I have some of the things turned off. I wonder if it had something to do with my settings.
And I also do the major city because I don't actually live in Los Angeles, but because Los Angeles is our largest city in California, But so that's what I do. I just use the major city versus the actual location. But for some reason, when I do come on Happs, it will actually pick up the location that you are. So sometimes I could be in San Diego, sometimes I could be up north, or when I travel to our different states, it automatically populate where I am.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a way to alter that. I found I went out of my way to find out how to turn that off. And it was because of similar situation as Chris and Martin, and especially back on when we were on Periscope, we had a very well known on the East Coast, and people were going out of their way to try to locate us.
Well, no,
Wow.
this is the nice thing about Toronto. It's an extremely overpopulated, massive city. And since we've moved like when we moved to BC, it was Toronto, and then it was Scarborough was a different city, and East York was a different city, and Etobicoke was a different. Like these were all different cities when we moved. We moved back, and they've amalgamated 6 of the cities together, so it's all Toronto now. So Toronto's expanded by consuming its boroughs. So
Okay.
you can put Toronto now on any address. So where we're moving to is technically North York. And if this was 20 years ago when we moved to BC, you could not put Toronto on an envelope and it would get to a North York address. But now because they've amalgamated it all, we can put Toronto on that address. And
Nice.
no one's going to know we're in North York type thing. So
it makes us feel a little bit better too, because it's like we're still living in Toronto.
Yes. So
We didn't move to the outskirts.
it's easy for us to put a location on now, but back in Vancouver, it's a much smaller, much physically smaller city. Much
Can I
smaller.
ask you guys?
Vaughn, I would say some, Vaughn, some.
Yeah, no. She said why there are a lot of psychos out there, and there
You
would be
say lots,
sometimes
or would you say some?
that I found that there were quite a bit of them on Periscope, and because my other half and I are gay, we were targeted a lot. So there were a lot of really just people that were because Periscope was so anonymous, it was easy to be anonymous. People they did some stupid shit on there. So
These 2 guys that found us by using our Periscope location, the 2 guys that found us were after our stuff, were after our props, because we were featuring, the replica guns and stuff on some of our broadcasts. And we were featuring a lot of things that we, got as gifts, or things that we built that are worth thousands of dollars for production. And because of the accuracy of the location finder, that's what they were after. They were trying to figure out a way to break into our place to grab that stuff and to steal that stuff.
People were just trying to act out toward me because I'm a conservative person who happens to be gay, and that's typically not allowed.
But if it works
Did you
for
have
you,
any positive experiences that people came to your door?
Positive experiences from being on Periscope?
Positive experiences from people finding your location and knocking on your door?
No.
That was I think the only incident that we ever had.
Incident, yeah. Then we changed it because the reason we put our locations on is Periscope. When we got our VIP status, Periscope will feature you even more if your location is on.
Yeah.
So
Hello,
they didn't.
Blaine. Sorry about that.
They'd always put us up top, to keep our location on. To turn our location off, it actually
Mhm.
dropped our numbers by about 50%, but it definitely
We
made
were
us feel more
searchable, yeah.
secure.
Well,
We did not want
perhaps
that to happen again.
it's the hub, isn't it? It's like now I'm on your broadcast. It's now going to my Facebook account, to Periscope. It's going to my YouTube
Twitter,
account.
Instagram,
Twitter
YouTube,
account,
Twitch,
because
Right.
whatever you happen to have, yeah.
you know I switched that all on. I don't mind, um, because we're now prohibited to go outside. We can't really interact much with people. So I say, well, go for it. Just be out in the world.
Right.
Mhm.
It feels
Well,
better.
with us, we're entertainment industry professionals, so being able to trick down to all our platforms only helps us. I mean, we've got a brand new online store. We're doing some contests and some fun stuff on our on our Happs. Where we have to be public, so it feels more secure for us now to be in a larger city where we can go to that level and not worry about being found.
Good.
The likelihood is slim to none now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
like I mean,
this
the new
is-
place, we went out and we got a PO box today for our company.
So we don't even have to use the physical address as a mailing location.
Yeah.
So,
So we're going to do that now. We're going to switch everything over to the PO box, and our real address isn't going to be on anything anymore, so that we
Yeah.
can spread. The only reason why this address that we're in right now is on everything is because it's an industrial building.
Ga ik moet ik even kijken.
They allow you to live here, though we just recently found out that's illegal, which is why we're moving. This building is not zoned.
App het me eventjes de datum en dan ga ik het als ik tijd
So
heb.
that's why
Yeah.
we're moving. So
I
I'm
got
not
a
gonna
PO box too for the same reason, because there
Hello,
were some
Chicago.
people that were sending us things, and I used to be a daily broadcaster on Periscope for years, so people would people who we became close with, they would want to send things, mail them, so I had to get a PO box. Hello, Takara, how are you?
Hey,
Hey,
Takara.
Takara's on. Yeah.
She's so I just love seeing her live. She's got a great smile, great energy. Takara, right? Definitely a good follow if you're able to see her
That's a
comment.
wonderful lady.
Cara is an angel.
Yeah, just really just
I have to change my loader box because this thing is draining more than that it is going in at the moment. So I'll be back in a moment.
okay.
Well, we are getting close to 5:30, so you and I
Mhm.
have got to get back there for 6. So
That's right. Yep.
it's a half-hour drive. Yeah, moving during COVID has been interesting. Like, I mean, we're gonna have to hire a mover for the armoire because that thing's like 1500s, 1600s. It's a very old, large, heavy piece of furniture
Antique.
that we will not let our friends volunteer to move. So
We
the
tried
idea-
that once in BC, but only once. It took 6 people to get it out of the house onto a truck.
Wow.
Yeah,
And-
it's just I will never ever do that to my friends again. They're not insured.
No.
They're not, no.
Yeah.
So
Better to have a
today-
stranger to be able to complain to if there's a problem.
Well, there's that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So we're meeting with different friends, and we're all doing the masks and the sanitization and stuff like that. And we're moving all the other stuff that isn't massive in vehicles. A different friend each time, unfortunately, but it's the easiest way to make sure that, or at least to decrease the chances of any COVID spreading between us, is to just, be away from each other and then get together for one evening or one day and move a couple more pieces. So we've overlapped the rent on both places. People are like, well, that's expensive. I'm like, yeah, but it's safe.
Mhm.
It's much
Yeah.
safer.
Scramble to do it all in one day.
So tonight we've got my niece helping out, and we're gonna go
Good.
pick her up, and then she's gonna help us move the almost empty shelving unit behind us.
Mhm.
And I think she also agreed to some of the other shelving units over there.
Yeah.
So we're moving shelves tonight with the niece.
So that when we move boxes, we have places to put things.
Then what we're doing is we're doing a few boxes at a time. Again, we're not going to have that massive bearing sensation because we already feel isolated because of the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
We're doing a few boxes at a time.
Mhm.
Then we're emptying the boxes at the other end right away. sleeping there because we're doing a lot at night. So sleeping there. So the bed was the first thing. Connection went bye-bye. Hang on a second.
You're
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then we're emptying boxes there, and then we're bringing the empty boxes back, and then loading again for the next day, and then doing a few more things with another person.
You'll
And
be
each
very
person
busy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
each person has agreed that for 2 weeks they basically will isolate themselves even more because they've been with us for a day or an evening. So by spreading it out amongst different people, we can each do that. We can take the 2 weeks where we can, you know, isolate. Martin and I are the only ones really at the high risk here.
Yeah.
We cannot do this on our own.
No.
Moving during
There's no way we
COVID
can do
has
this on our own.
definitely been a challenge.
And we really don't have the budget to hire a moving company to take care of all of it.
No, just
Not
suffer.
to mention the whole, nail biting. It's like, oh,
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
No,
what's gonna happen to our stuff?
no. And one of them sneezes on our stuff, and
okay.
just no. One person at a time gives us control. You know, that gives us that nice control, and we can see if we can get through this without having a breakdown.
That would be good. Yeah.
There are a lot of
No, it'll be
fish.
fine. And I come from New York. There were not many cities in the country or the world that had it as dense. The COVID cases here were scary. I can't even tell you how many people we know that had it, and I lost 2 friends to it, close friends. But I've been around people who were positive, and I didn't get it. And so just really, just keep your hands clean, keep your mouth covered, and you're going to be fine. And we are coming out of this. New York is already starting to open, so you guys are going to be right behind us. So have faith, and just keep washing your hands. It's really, and keep your hands out of your face. Don't touch your mouth. But you'll be fine. But you guys have a busy night ahead of you. I'm glad. I would love to help you, but I'm glad I'm not nearby.
You're in spirit. Yeah, that's all we can be right now for each other.
Yeah, very much here in spirit. Rose, you were going to say something?
I noticed one thing, that when I'm looking at the screen, I know that my eyes are not focused on you guys. But if I look into the blackness of this camera part of the phone, I know I'm looking at you. And when I'm physically with people, I can look them in the eyes, and that's such a soul communication. That I really miss, in this digital age.
Yeah, it really the connection that you don't get, or we haven't been able to get in the last 12 months. It's been definitely something to get used to. But we've all gotten used to not having somebody look at us in the eye now. So we would typically be like, "Hello, are you paying attention to me?"
When this is completely open, I am putting on one of the ferries, wings and all, and I'm going to run around downtown Toronto hugging every single stranger.
Yep.
I'm just they'll have no choice but to hug this big ferry.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you call me? I said that, I forget who I said. I said it to my mother's cardiologist yesterday. I brought her to the doctor yesterday, and I said when this shit's over, I'm gonna just start making out with strangers in the street. I don't even care. I'm just so fed up with this. I can't wait until this COVID stuff is behind us.
Yeah.
The interactions, and we have a really great, tremendous group of friends, and we have a party house strictly for people. We have a pool, and just we're so used to having 10, 20 people over every other weekend in the summer. We haven't had anything in so long.
In here.
It's been really, thank God for Zoom, because we get together as friends before I was on Happs, and we would play games on Zoom, and we've had 10, 15 people on Zoom together. And we've had that to survive, but we were so used to being around each other so often.
Yeah. We're used to games.
And we were the only ones without kids, so we're always the party house.
Yeah.
And we have about 10 houses in the neighborhood that we're friends with too. So, so people can stumble home drunk. And, but the interactions are, I can't wait. And yes, the 2 days ago, we got our first vaccine. We're getting the next one in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And I just cannot wait. It's right in time for summer.
Right.
Edward
we're gonna
killed.
dash, darling.
Kill him, and
We have
I'll
a
do
niece
kissing
that's,
everybody.
What happened? What do you
we
say?
have a niece.
Okay.
I'd like
We have a
to
niece waiting to be picked up,
Mhm.
so we're gonna head off.
Okay.
see things getting back to, uh, more livable.
Yeah.
How do you see that
Mhm.
happening in the future? Do you think it's going to be the same as it used to be? Oh,
Sorry, Rose.
Mhm.
Yeah, they had to
We
go.
let the others, yeah.
I was talking too much. I kept them. Great to see you and meet you.
We enjoyed it.
And
Thank you.
I'll talk to you on Twitter.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Great.
oh,
Great seeing you. Great seeing you, Edward and Rose.
You
Okay.
too.
Later, folks.
And-
Stay safe.
Rose, go ahead and repeat that if you would. What is his feelings on when things will be back to normal? Is that what you?
Yeah, like how do you see the things?
Why is it
I
not-
don't say normal because this is normal. This is the norm now,
Mhm.
and we're dealing with it, and it's fine. But how do you see? How do you picture the things will be like in a half year? You have a vision on that, Edward?
Do I have a vision on what?
On how
What-
things will be in a half a year?
Oh yeah, well everything is opening up now. People are moving about. I think that I live in Orange County, California, so we've been having restaurants open already outside, but now we have things are now open to 50% inside, and I would say by June and July we'll be somewhat back to normalcy. And those who want to continue to wear their mask or not, I think they will be able to do that. That those are more people are getting the vaccination and things are doing that. So I think as long as people continue to do that, I think we're turning the corner on this whole situation.
I definitely feel the same, and I think we were locked down a little longer than we needed to be. I think, although it was hard to tell, but it seems like the numbers are steadily going down. So I think by May we're going to be in good shape here in New York.
Yeah. Well, I think, Vaughn, when you say, I think this is the first time in human history that we quarantine the healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I
Exactly.
think that played a big role in what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when you quarantine people that are healthy, you don't get the opportunity to see interaction and things that happen that should happen naturally.
Right.
I think that our numbers all went up because we were self-contained. More people were self-contained, closer to each other.
Absolutely. I was talking about that with Helga earlier. They found that the lockdowns actually caused greater
More.
numbers
Yep.
multiplied because people were
Yep.
passing it to each other. And then everybody has to go out to go to work. Those people who need to go out because they're essential workers, they were spreading it to somebody there, and those people were filtering it out to 10 people at home. So it spread more in all the cities that were locked down the hardest. Like Florida has the lowest numbers of any city anywhere.
Yep.
And they had no lockdowns.
Yep. The same thing as South
That's
Dakota.
amazing.
I just think. Go ahead, Rose.
Yeah, that's amazing. But if I see all the figures that are thrown around, they kind of lack some logic sometimes. And even when, like, if it's on the news, they're showing figures of the R number, and it's incorrect. And statistic people with knowledge about statistics, they kind of pointed out this to the news, and they did put on their website kind of a disclaimer that they had made a mistake.
Yeah, or it's misinformation, misinformation, or they deplatform them and block their account, or the media won't even tell the story.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that interesting? Of how just in the normal course of life, we as humans, we all know that information that we're receiving is not factual. Whether someone's telling us that or not, we know as human beings that there's just things that are not so. So
Mhm.
I'm the last responder. Okay, I've been in the death care industry for 32 years. We know that what has happened has not been normal, meaning that just because everybody says if you social distance, you wash your hands, you wear a mask, why, if all those things were so, why would we have a bigger uptick people receiving it than not, if that was the answer. But no one came and say to us, hey, you know what? We told you, give us 2 weeks to slow the spread. Give us a month to do this. Give us a month to do that. And then all of a sudden you say, okay, we need to lock everybody down. But yet the numbers did not go down. They went up when you locked everybody down. There is something wrong with the human experience that we just had.
Huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd say that's correct. Yeah. And
So
but anyway, I don't want to dive into any conspiracies or
Yeah.
yeah, it's I have my own theory about it, and it works
Mhm.
for me. I kind of put it to rest in my own head because I've been into astronomy, not astrology, but astronomy, into geology, into geopolitics, and I've done some research of what's going on.
Mhm.
And I kind of found out that there is quite some research being done on something that occurs every 12,500 years on our sun. And that's that it passes through a wave that's emitted from the Milky Way. And this wave, every 12,500 years, we go from the positive side into the negative side and then the other way around. um, and on that passing through the barrier, the sun kind of gets clogged up with a lot of dust. It kind of disappears for a couple of weeks, and then it explodes all that dust off, which is propelled into the solar system with tiny micro uh, micro asteroids or micro dust particles,
Mhm.
and these kind of hit the Earth. And they found these in the North American in the skeletons of the North American um, how do you call these big woolly elephants? The you know the
good
you know what I
Woolly
morning,
mean?
mammoths.
Mike
Yeah,
DeCaro.
woolly mammoth. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mammoths they're called. You know the mammoths?
Woolly mammoth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So these they
Woolly
found
mammoth. Yeah.
mammoths and they were frozen solid. Huh? These mammoths they've been frozen solid for 12,000 years, and in their stomach they found little flowers. The flowers were just you could just make out which kind of flowers they were. They'd just eaten them. So these guys they've been frozen in such a way it was instant. And so there are people kind of picking out what this means and if it's so it's a theory. I don't say it's true, but I kind of always put all these theories together and then connected with the geopolitics, what's going on. And I really believe there are kind of um, government and big organization groups that are preparing for this because it's been 12,500 years ago since it happened. So I think they're preparing for this. And then I think, okay, if that would be it, then this whole COVID situation, this whole lockdown and everything, it's good because they're preparing to survive as humanity and
It's a
consume
practice
as
run.
many animals as possible. It's Noah's Ark and an Adam and Eve story going around again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's true, but it kind of gives me a rest in the situation because I really get a cognitive dissonance when I hear this news and it doesn't add up. You know
Yeah.
that then I don't get a good feeling about that.
Let it
So,
be. Let it
yeah,
be.
yeah. So I kind of tried to figure it out. Okay, what is going on? And this is a story that I kind of pieced together. I don't say it's true, but it works for me because I'm relaxed with it now. I can say, okay, good, carry on. And I just go with it. And I have
Yeah.
no
Well,
problem with it
this is
anymore.
this is my understanding of life. It's all risky. It's all uphill. The most important part of it is how much of it are you going to enjoy on the journey.
Exactly.
I think some of us actually think that we actually control something. Like someone was telling me the other day that they believe that we're going to run out of resources on the planet, and I'm like, oh, so when did we decide that? Because we think that we know more than we know, but we really don't know anything. Because the largest drill that we've ever had in the world only has gone 150 miles below the Earth, but that's not even anything. So when we think that we're going to run out of resources, there's resources that we haven't even tapped into yet. We don't even know that even exists. So
Oh,
for
please.
us to think
They thought Pluto was a planet for how long? And then they said, oh, it's not a planet.
exactly, so for us to actually think that we have some infinite wisdom or infinite understanding of what's going on, I think that what we need to do is really take back and say, and just my philosophy, my understanding is once appointed to man to live, then we change this existence, we die, and then the next life supposed to be forever. I'm going to stay with that because I know I'm alive. I know one day I'm going to make this transition and leave this physical body, but I'm not going to, while I'm here, I'm not going to take the narrative that we're running out of everything or things are not the way they're
No,
supposed to be, or
exactly.
someone have decided that a disease called COVID is the definition of our lives. We've had diseases before. We've had everything that happened to man, and you know what man has done? We've recovered. We keep moving forward. That's called the
Adapt.
human experience. So instead of us all being, and I like I tell my children, don't be so depressed because I want to deploy people to life. Be deployed to life. Just be deployed. Just remember, life is wonderful. It's supposed to be lived. It's supposed to be enjoyed. No matter what comes at you, it's how we respond to it, not how we react to it.
Got to adapt. Exactly. You got to figure it out. Just like humans adapted to the Earth and the
Yeah,
changes. You got to learn and adjust.
yeah,
Any
And
action we
that's
take, any
pardon me.
action we take, we're going to get a reflection of that back.
Hmm.
yes.
I cut you off. Sorry, Van.
That's okay. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. There's a little delay today. It's okay.
Yeah, a little delay, Vaughn. A little.
Yeah, yeah. No, usually the video is not. There's a little bit of a delay today in the sound on the video. Sometimes most often it has not been for me. Today has been especially like a 2 or 3 second delay sometimes between us in the video.
Maybe
Yeah.
Europe
The
is on.
comments, forget it. That's like a week old.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing for us is this, and I try to share with my children some of the things that I think are important. At one point, there was no thing called a sweater, but someone created it. And now we can keep warm because someone invented a sweater. At one point, there wasn't an umbrella, but someone decided to create an umbrella. I think when you stop and really look at all the wonderful things we have in life, then you can focus more on what is positive than what is negative.
Yeah.
I mean, we have shelter, we have windows that we can look out of our own homes. There's so many different things that we take for granted. Like when I wake up in the morning and I can smell the ocean, just to know that that sense is very vivid.
Hmm.
And knowing that there is a sense of smell,
Hmm.
I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes instead of us looking at what happened in the last 13 months,
Hmm.
how many more things were positive during the 13 months? How many more families came together? How many more people got to get reconnected to their children, get directed to
Yeah.
their everybody? There's so many more positive things that took place that the disease will never ever take away from us. Ever. It
Yeah.
cannot do it.
Perfect example is my other half of 21 years. We're together 21 years and haven't stabbed each other to death, but we've never been locked in the house together for 13 months. um, it's probably improved our relationship in the way that, like, we would have, if anybody asked us before COVID, do you think you could do that? Most people would have said, oh God, hell no. You know, to be trapped at home and never leave? No. It's the thought of a snowstorm. Everybody goes and gets food and bread and milk, and they clean out the store. Just the panic thought of being trapped at home. Nobody, I don't think people gave each other the credit that they deserved of themselves, that they could get through this and adapt.
Yep.
And
Well, I see it every day with the resilience. Our son has a 5-year-old baby girl, and just to know that he has to navigate teaching her on the computer and seeing that happen, and seeing him working at home because he had to do the same. Just the transitions of things that people had to do that wouldn't have happened over the last 13 months, I think, gives him and his wife a greater sense of parenting, a greater sense of just being present. I don't think that would happen when you send your child off to school because you missed that precious time. There's so many valuable things that happen across that I don't think that we can't even measure it yet. But there's going to be a lot of good things that come out of all this that were not part of the COVID. And I say the COVID response because I don't think we responded to it correctly. I think that we had a response that was completely, I would say, non-human, because
yeah,
we don't want people to die alone. We don't want people to go through the situation they should never have to go through. When somebody said they haven't hugged their parent for a year, we know this is not normal.
yeah, it's really not. Right after the lockdown began, I had my cousin who's my age in her 50s. She had 2 adult children that lived in Colorado, and they came back to Pennsylvania to be locked down with their parents in Pennsylvania. The day after they came home, the 2 brothers went on a they grew up on a lake. They went out in a canoe, and they both drowned because of COVID. They were home. My cousin lost her only 2 children because of these lockdowns. Not because of COVID, but because of this paranoid
System.
this fright fest
Yep.
that we got in. And then to top it off, they could only find one of them and didn't find the other brother for almost a week. People
Wow.
couldn't even help them search because of COVID. We couldn't go there to be with my family because of COVID. We couldn't go there to be at the funeral because of COVID.
What a
We weren't
cost.
even allowed to leave the state.
What a cost.
So my cousin and her husband, who's like, borderline suicidal now because they were very, very close to their children. They did everything together, and they were outdoorsy people. And for these 2 to lose their only children like that and be helpless. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about this whole lockdown thing and the things that have happened and the things that people missed out on. And I lost numerous people and family members who lost people. 2 friends who we couldn't even be with our loved ones to mourn them because of COVID. They died. We couldn't even go to be with their families. So these people were left alone to grieve alone. And there's so many people who were left on their own, drug addicts, alcoholics, who couldn't get help because of COVID. There's so many things. So, and then there's the other side of it where people did learn to appreciate the relationships that they couldn't have because of these restrictions. So I think the good thing is people really appreciate what they had before that they took for granted, and the family and friends and people that they didn't see. Now they're calling them every so often to check on them, where they sometimes would just let it go for months without even thinking about it. The things we took for granted on a personal level and relationships. I think a lot of cases people became closer that way, at least that I've seen.
Yeah. No, thanks
I
for
got a
sharing.
divorce.
My deepest condolences to your family.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
it's just pretty amazing on our response to stuff and why we did what we did as a world, a nation, to say that a virus has, taken so many human experiences away for what? Really? It's just pretty tragic, some of the things that we're hearing. And at the
Yeah.
same time, I have to wake up every day and know that it's the best day of my life, and we got to celebrate. We got to continue to move forward, and to look at each other and realize that this human experience is amazing, and don't take it for granted.
It is. I try to remember that every day, and I love meeting new people. And I thank God for Happs, because I have so many more people that I probably would never meet without it, who improve my day. I learn more about you, and learn now. I just met Rose, and it's the people that we would never have come across in our everyday life, especially because of the lockdown. This is helping people grow, even remotely. And then one day we'll all be able to get together and meet each other in person, and then we'll be even better for all of it. We just got to make the
Well,
best of it.
I'm definitely coming to New York to get a piece of pizza.
Absolutely, definitely got to do that.
So that
Do
is
you
going
make
to happen.
do you make pizza, Ron?
No,
New York,
New York is known for the pizza, so for the good
I
pizza.
see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
so
just
got
throw
Rose,
it in the
I
oven.
got a divorce when the COVID began, um, and yeah, you could say it had nothing to do with COVID, but I went into transition last year, and my ex-wife she didn't want to be part of that. So, but
Right,
being in the COVID situation did speed up that process enormously.
right.
It kind of made it impossible to adapt to all the changes. So
Right.
that's what kind of tore us apart too.
Okay.
But I'm okay with it. I'm happy. But
It accelerated something that you wanted.
yeah, but I could have lived together with her. It would have been
Yeah.
fine. But it would have taken more time, and the time wasn't there because everything was pressured up. Everything was all of a sudden you're cooped together, and yeah.
It's.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. It's. I can't speak for somebody. I don't know what it would be like for somebody to be on the receiving end of somebody going through what you're going through,
Yeah,
um, and the expectations that person would have, whether fair or not. Um, some people are going to have that. I didn't sign up for this. Which is,
definitely. Yeah.
and I sympathize with your situation too.
But
At
hers
least
too.
you are
Yeah.
feeling empowered enough to fulfill what you feel you need. As long as you have a good relationship with her afterwards, after
That's
if
over.
there's any.
No, we can't
Okay.
communicate anymore. No,
Okay.
she's
Then
very ashamed and very.
I'm sorry to hear
She
that.
she moved back to Japan. So,
Okay.
but
Sorry
it's
to hear that.
okay because it gave me the space I need to change. That's
Okay.
good. I don't
Well,
mind the acceleration because I waited kind of till the kids were grown up anyway to do it.
okay. And your kids are
And
okay? I mean,
yeah, they're fine. Yeah,
okay. That's good.
functioning and happy.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
as long as they're going through it with you, it's I guess
exactly. And I hear I don't
because
speak
it
to her,
is
but I
family.
hear, of course, my ex-wife is doing fine too. She's got a
Okay.
job. She's yeah, picking up her life again.
Okay.
But that the COVID situation did kind of change the flow of things, definitely.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I don't know. I don't know anybody who's ever gone through what you're going through, and I don't have any experience with it, so I don't even know what to say. But I could imagine it's not easy being in your position. There's a lot of people who would be ignorant and just
It's
plain
much
old
easier.
mean.
It is much easier than it used to be, really.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I never was myself,
Hmm.
and I always was hiding behind a mask and trying to be a person I wasn't.
Yeah.
And that just never worked for me. And now I'm myself. Things are turning out the way they should at last.
Okay.
So I'm happy.
It's,
Mm.
it's similar. I mean, I came out in the 1980s
Mm.
when you, the human population couldn't be any more gay, anti-gay because of AIDS, and the terrifying, like COVID is very similar. People were in the beginning, they were afraid that they could catch it, like they thought they could catch COVID. So I was ashamed. I was, and I had no support whatsoever. So I was on my own. I was 18. So I can imagine, I can relate a little bit to what you could have felt. So I'm sorry that you had to go through it.
I'm happy.
It's
Otherwise, I
made me
wouldn't be here tonight, right?
Yeah, you know what? As long as you're happy with yourself and you can wake up and you feel like you improved the planet today, I'm not going to judge it.
Jump out of bed, take a shower, have a good, healthy breakfast. See what I can do, to enlighten other people's lives, and make sure I eat good food that's built in a healthy way. It's not from some industry
Gotta have good
or
vodka.
some package out of the supermarket. Tonight I made sea krill. It's a kind of seaweed kind of stuff, and salmon, baked potatoes. And I was working for the shop, and I was just seeing what I was going to eat, and the picture of what the meal was kind of forming in my head, and to buy the stuff and then to make it, take it easy, cook it easy, and right on time, have a great meal on the table for me and my son. Those things are priceless, right? So
Yeah.
And the most important, and with whatever geopolitics are playing, or limitations in life, if this is okay, everything is fine, really.
Yeah, so one of the things I want to share is thank you both for allowing me to share in this space, in this time. I think that a lot of us understand the beauty of life and the calculation of life. I celebrate the fact that you are who you are. I celebrate it, regardless of what people think. I am a tripart person. I believe that we have a body, we have a soul, but we are spirits. But I'm grateful for the fact that you are doing what you're doing in the best way you know how, and that I have zero, and I'm going to use Vaughn's word, I have zero reaction or response to it, because I'm not in the position to have, you know, experience what I experience. I have people that work with us in both situations in our organization. And I never look at them any different in the sense of that. And I don't want anybody to look at me any different, because I don't want to be judged by neither my race nor my sexuality nor anything else, because that's not actually who I am. It's the body I live in, but the real me is on the inside, the person that people have never seen and never met.
Thank you, Edward. It's great to meet you. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
I appreciate that too. And it's what you offer the planet. It's not, these other superficial things that, it's really what impact are you making on the world every day. Who I'm in a relationship with has no bearing on whether I made someone else's day better, or things that I've done for my community, or for anything, or from taking care of my mother, or if I'm making a positive impact, the other stuff is just small details.
Yeah.
Well,
clarity.
I'm proud of the person that I am.
Yeah. Clarity over agreement. I don't always have to agree what people do, but I'm clear on the fact that people have a right to pursue and be whatever they want. That's their passion. So I'm clear on that. I know that even my own wife don't agree with me on everything. So who am I to say my children don't agree in the direction that we would want them to go into, or the path, the educational thing or whatever. But if I could do it all over, they would probably never go to college, because I think that right there was more of indoctrination than
I was
education.
just going to say that word was literally coming out of my mouth, and that's one of the benefits with COVID, I think, because a lot of these children have been getting indoctrinated in school, and the parents have lost control over their
Yes,
guiding their children.
correct. And I'm that's why I said I'm very grateful for my son and him stepping up to the plate and doing something that I think would not happen if he didn't become him and his wife become a teacher, just to add to their child's life and to give the best they can. And
Mhm.
for me, being empathetic is more important than sometimes people want to be right versus
Yeah.
empathetic. I think being empathetic is sometimes more important than being right. We empathize with people. Like I always say with families when they come to the funeral home, I can empathize with you. I can't sympathize with you because I didn't know your loved one. But I can
Right.
empathize with the fact that you want to celebrate your loved one's life. Whenever we bring a person into our care, we call them the honoree, because we want to honor their life. We want to celebrate who
Right.
they were, regardless of what anybody think. There was someone's child, there was someone's parent, there was someone's friend, they were an uncle, a nephew, a niece, whatever they were. We want to celebrate that, and
Mhm.
I will do everything I can to protect that. And that's why I say clarity over agreement.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Absolutely. And in my world, I am a conservative. I believe in a lot of traditional things based on where I come from. My own personal relationship conflicts with a lot of my beliefs in some people's eyes. So I in many ways I think more probably a little closer to how you think I would, from what I, at least from what I've seen of you and heard from you. Many of my beliefs are more in line with a conservative, without the religion. I'm not a religious person, but a conservative background, and I still to this day believe that. Um, which a lot of people, it can upset people, especially on my side of the fence. It makes a lot of them angry. Hence the trying to find me from Periscope, because I was getting death threats, and some people are just totally unhinged because I believe and dare to admit that I believe something that's not allowed. So I can respect somebody who has. I've had some of the best discussions and then also friendships with people who, on paper, we should never be friends because of either their strong religious backgrounds or just total what they thought they were against. And because I don't talk to them in anger and we have a civil conversation, and you can only learn from somebody if you can hear them and if they're not angry. I've and I've some of the best people in my life are extremely conservative, um, and they constantly say to me, "I've never met anybody like you," um, and I'm just so, those people would walk through fire for me today, where 10 years ago they would have never thought that they'd ever feel that way. Our society has fortunately been opened up to learning about other people and not so much, myth. So we learn what makes people tick today. So we're a lot smarter about different people than we used to be. Um,
It's
so
true.
I'm very glad to be alive at this time in my life, at this time, in in life, because we are a lot more knowledgeable.
I
I
guess
can learn
it
about
has
people
to
like
do
Rose.
it has to do something maybe with reacting to other people, opposed to responding to other people. because in a reaction we speak our judgment, and a response we speak our true self. So if we can stay close to that, then we can find out what others we can find out about others, and not have our judgment already fixed. What is, because as soon as we do that, people kind of, yeah, they kind of go on a defense, I guess, and yeah, logical
Definitely. People are very defensive today.
Yeah,
and
but
reactive.
my my question would go to, for what? And why am I being defensive? Versus, I cannot impose anything on anyone. I can't offend anyone because people take offense. This is my understanding. People take offense versus being offended. When I decide that, like, I am also a conservative, but I don't put that on anyone else because I have a right to make a choice. 7.8 billion people on the planet. There's only one of me. I live with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have to make decisions from what the information I receive, the knowledge I have, what have I come in contact with. And that's the only thing I can do is make those decisions. And for me, I have a traditional family. I'm married, I have children, a grandbaby. But am I going to say to someone that I don't know that I'm going to impose something on them based on what they're going through? I don't know, and that's one of the reasons why traveling allows you to learn people's language, learn their leadership, learn their laws, learn that there's different political thought and different things that's going on. At the same time, the human experience, there's a lot of things that we all have to come to
Hello,
conclusion with. I didn't create life, therefore,
Rose.
yeah. I'm sorry, Rose.
I think he's on.
I got a phone call. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't create life, so I don't have to define it for people, and I don't even want to refine it for them. I don't want to define it nor refine it. I think everyone has to decide on how they define their life, and then throughout life they will refine it on their own. If I can be the best person to another person, regardless of I'm on the same page or that I agree with them or not, I'm still going to respect you for being a creation in the image of the greatest creator, in my opinion. And what you said, Vaughn, is I'm not a religious person either, but I do believe that there is a designer of life.
Absolutely. I believe that. Yes.
Religion has probably taken all of us back in a way that, because my definition is completely different. I don't think that people really have been explained what we consider to be religious. The scripture clearly says that true religion is to visit the widows and the orphans. That's true religion. Outside of visiting widows and orphans, everything else is ritual, or what I could call ceremony. And people do this if they believe that that ceremony or the assembly or the fellowship they get a part of, if that's what gets them through the week or get them through their day or whatever, who am I to tell them that they can't have that ceremony? But at the same time, for me, I still would say, because I do believe that life is so precious, it's so beautiful, and that there is a creator and designer, whether someone says this how you define them or not. For me, I've come to grips with all the things I've done, and for me to have Judeo-Christian principles have allowed me to live the life I have, and I'm grateful for it.
I believe that's very ancient. My belief is that the universe has created out of itself um, us,
No,
so we can.
it's okay.
You want a beer?
No, I don't drink.
You want a soda?
No, thank you. Nothing. Sorry.
Yeah, so I believe that the universe has created us as a out of itself. It created us as yeah to enjoy and to be happy. And I think one of the highest forms is to be happy with compassion. While we are compassionate with others, getting happiness from that is really one of the richest ways of being that I've encountered in my life. Yeah.
I agree. And the energy that's put out, it, that happiness, somebody's happiness, one person's happiness is going to be different than another. If it's good energy and if it's positive, I'm not gonna criticize somebody else's happiness, provided it doesn't hurt somebody else in the meantime, in the process.
I think that's what you said, Juan. I don't want my imposition or me imposing something to hurt someone else. As long as the space that we have is respected and we have clarity, there's no reason why I can't share the space with you and Rose and not have to, have clarity, know that we have clarity and understand that we're clear on each other's premise and position. At the same time, we don't have to be in agreement, but we can still enjoy each other in the creative parts of who we are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and sometimes people like here, if you and I were, if I was married to your daughter, it's the only time my sexuality should be your business.
Yeah.
There are times when other people's actions can be my business. If somebody that's in my family is doing something, or if somebody's doing something to my family member, that the personal feelings about those things that could potentially affect somebody who you love, or your child or something like that. Even that, there's a limit.
Again, clarity.
Yeah.
What you just said again, clarity. Even if my daughter is married, the what I believe biblically says a man and a woman should leave their mother and father and cleave to their spouse. That means that's a whole nother unit, a whole nother family. So I still don't have responsibility in that. Even though she's my daughter, she's going to have to work that out on her own. And my son the same way, because I have my own wife. I don't want to be my children's spouse.
Yeah. And I even respect, like, if I had a child today and that child was gay, I would be terrified for that child. I respect the parents' fear for their child, like my parents feared for me. They feared for a different thing back then, because back then it was very dangerous, and it was a very, I would say over 70% of the people I know from back then or knew back then are dead. So it was a very scary time for that to be entered into their life.
Yeah.
I respected my parents' position, even though they wanted me to do certain things differently than what I was doing. Looking back as an adult, I respect the position they were in. I'm happy with the person I am today, and things that I've done between then and now, because I didn't harm anybody. I did things that I felt were okay, based on how I felt. But I play devil's advocate with all people's beliefs and backgrounds, and to even just try to reason with. So it's important to me, on like, not necessarily to turn this into a big topic about this, but I respect people who don't know what makes me tick, and I don't have a problem discussing it with them. I'm not offended. Like, some people would never have this conversation at all. They would have been off this broadcast and gone. The fact that we're even having this conversation right now, is great. I love it. This is how
My
people
mind is
learn
kind
about
of
each
stuck
other.
at the moment, because I'm kind of thinking of what Edward said about not hurting other people or not, damaging other people. Not those words, but and you mentioned it as well, and my mind is kind of stuck in that way. Like, how is that then in practice? I mean, like I don't gamble because when I gamble, I know that I will be wishing other people to lose, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to win, but that's with everything. I mean, that's with getting a good deal or getting the better of things, and
Somebody gets the short end of the stick. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
In order for that to happen.
yeah. I look at it the other way around. I think like I I will always take what I need to the fullness, and then whatever there is more, then I will give it away.
Right.
Because giving it away is a great thing. If be it knowledge, be it food, be it well, money, not so, because I haven't figured out money yet. I'm still struggling with that, but I but I'm not empty on money and I'm not too full, so but yeah, I think the natural way is that you have enough, that you are kind of, that you notice that whatever you put extra in, you're going to lose something, and that you, from that point, you start, from your abundance, you start giving.
Mhm.
And that's something I'm trying, but I'm finding out how that works on the way. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Who
Well, I
knows?
think
It's not.
Because giving something to another person is implying somehow that they might be in need, and I might be giving them something that prevents them from finding out how to get it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always difficult, what's, or maybe I want to feel good, and that's just the same thing. That I'm getting
Right.
something back, but giving something out of an abundance, you never get something back. It's just given. That's all.
yeah. Well, I think that in practice, when you talk about practice, I think in practice, uh, pain is either inflicted or delivered based on a person's response or reaction to something. But I don't think you or I actually cause that pain. I think that pain is received by that person in a way that allows that person to process whatever they're dealing with and how they're dealing with it.
Ah,
Like when I lost my dad, he passed away. Well, what is the pain I'm having? Well, the pain of missing him, the pain of not having the opportunity to hear his voice. Well, that's a pain that I had to inflict on my own life, but I do believe that he would not have wanted to come back at all. So I think when you get a glimpse of the other side, whatever that is to us, I believe that he would not have wanted to come back. And I think it would have been more painful for him to remain. I think that a lot of times when you talk about practice, I think that, like my children used to say, I have a problem. And I was always ask them, where did you purchase it from? Because they don't sell they don't sell problems. We either create them or we cause them. And I will never understand the human condition on why we cause ourselves injury or pain, or why is there substance abuse or addiction? Why does these things happen? That we drive ourselves so deeply into things that we don't even look at our own bells inside of us and go, hey, this is too far, or the flags in our life. That's why I think in practice, only you can determine how far you want to go with something and the pain that you want to have, or the joy or happiness you're going to choose in it. But like I say to people all the time, if my wife and I have this conversation, and I always says, if we are dependent on each other for happiness, we are going to lose.
yes, so true.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and we even can reject an inheritance, because
Yes.
pain, and suffering, it can be an inheritance too. We
Yep.
can inherit that kind of
Mhm.
from our parents or from upbringing, or yeah.
or
But
bad habits.
we can reject that, and we can also accept it and turn it into something better, something good.
Yeah. And Vaughn, you just said it, and I think that when you look at the word habit, if you take off the H, you have a bit of it. If you take off
Yeah,
the A, you have a bit of it. You take off the B, you got it.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
manageable.
for me, I want to have positive habits. You know, why not treat other people that are not like me or they don't even look like me? Why not treat them with the utmost respect as if though I'm looking at a brand new flower or looking at a brand new planet or looking at a brand new tree? Why would I decide to treat a human who is nothing like what we would say, someone who's fearfully and wonderfully created, someone who's no one like anybody else that ever existed on the planet? Why then would I not celebrate that creation in all of the whole spectrum of life? None of us are alike. Our DNA is not alike. Our fingerprint's not alike. You know, why then would I not celebrate that part of creation with every human being versus me trying to put them in some type of tribal community or territory or whatever? You know,
Yeah, it's based on your beliefs and
yeah,
your.
yeah, but that's why I believe in the sovereignty of the individual.
Yeah, and people
Guys, it's
can
been
be
so fun
individuals.
talking to you.
Yeah, I'm really glad you came in,
Yeah.
Rose.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
lighter conversations are also fun, but I really love going so deep into things.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks, Edward. Thanks, Vaughn.
no, you're welcome. I don't think
Okay.
any of us expected this one today.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No, but you know what?
but
You're just you're a brilliant man. I can tell, Edward, and I'm so glad that we've met. And Rose, it was really nice to meet you. It was a pleasant surprise. I really wasn't sure what to expect, and I never know what to expect when it's somebody I've never even interacted with and joining. So I'm very glad we met.
Here you go.
yeah,
Thank you again, and
thank you.
bless you. Have a great weekend.
You
And,
too.
love you
Have a good
both, and take care
Love
of
you.
yourselves. Okay.
What time is it there? Rose, what time is it?
It's nearing
11,
midnight,
11:30.
so I'm
Wow.
gonna turn in. I'm gonna turn in.
Yeah.
Have a night. I got tomorrow. I'm gonna have a walk on the beach with an old lady of 84, and she doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna take her out. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Very good. Well,
Bless
enjoy.
you. Bye now.
Bus. Have a good night.
You too. Bye now.
Good sleep.
Bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.
And Vaughn, thank you so much again. Like I said, I never take it lightly
Yeah.
to come up into
It's a
anyone's
pleasure.
broadcast. You know, it's just you never know what's going to happen. But I think that if I could if I can share with the world just to make it a little bit better every day, I think we need to all really stop and pause and realize how precious life is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Amen.
We got to
Amen.
get rid of
In the least,
we got to get
in the
rid of
least
all
religious.
yes, we got to get rid of all this groupthink and
Yeah.
people thinking, you know, the sovereignty of the individual. I will always respect. Um, like I share with my daughter, I think one of the greatest things, and like I told you, I'm not religious, but I do love the scriptures. And one of the things I tell my daughter, if you look at equality, God quoted that in the Bible when he says he created male and female in his image. So we're all created in his image. So he didn't leave you out as a female. He said male and female created he them.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for us to not think that there is equality, he gave us all dominion. He gave us all his image. And I think from my standpoint, I will celebrate that image in whatever individual there is. And I cannot define who they are. That's up to that individual.
Mhm. Yep. Hut Armories. Hello. I did not have religion in my life. it was because of my father. He was a Protestant. My mother was Catholic, and he rejected her church. So I was the first. I'm number 3 in line as far as out of 4 boys, and I was the first one that didn't have to go to Catholic school. So it was missing from my, other than my grandparents and mother and the very basic things that I learned about. But I never had to go to church. I didn't, So, but I have respect for the religion because of the structure of it, because our country was built on these religious structures, which formed our laws, and what we think is right and wrong is based on Christian background, and it's, even as an adult, and I'm less ignorant now, our right and wrong is very different than someone of a different religion who their right and wrong is very different.
Yeah.
And it's all based on our country's beliefs based on this religion. I respect the good things that I enjoy in my life that were protected by those beliefs.
Yes.
They may be different than they were 100 years ago, and they're not going to, string me up and throw me off a roof like they're doing in other countries for me living the way I live. But there's a lot of really good things that are done by religious groups. So I don't reject other people and their beliefs as long as they don't try to dictate how I live in my house and who I live with. But I'm very strange that way. I have, even these things were on the textbook would say, you're not supposed to believe in this, I'm not supposed to believe in that, I'm not supposed to vote for him, I'm supposed to vote for this. There's things that are dictated, which I'm sure you can probably relate to. There are certain things that you're, as a black man, you're supposed to believe a certain thing, and anybody who doesn't follow these guidelines that are set by who the hell knows who.
Like you just said, who sets the guideline?
Yeah.
There's no group. There's not a group of people out there telling me that I should not be able to read Dr. Seuss or Miss Potato Head, or I should vote for a particular person.
Well, they're there. You just don't have to conform to it.
Exactly. Well, no, they're there because
Stalin
thought the same thing. Stalin and Mao and all of them thought the same thing. But why should I have to also go down the same tightrope or believe certain things when I live in a country that actually had a civil war, that over 600,000 people died, and out of all of them, if you count all of them, over 1.1 million people died, that my ancestors could be free in a country and live proudly, but we don't even celebrate that. So we say now that every white male that we see is some type of racist, when you can't give me that because it's not true. And I don't have to accept your narrative just because you tell me that. It is just crazy of what people are pushing out to people today, because they want to have a group think. And I've never in my entire life ever voted Democratic. I've been a conservative since I was 18 years old. I grew up in and I don't say religion because, for us, it's principles of the way of life. Because, I think the value, I've never tasted alcohol in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never done a drug, not because I can't. It's just because of what I was shown by my parents, and what I grew up in gave me the actual function of how I could make it through life. And for me, at 57, I look back over my life and I'm grateful for the principles that they gave me so that I don't have to deal with certain issues. And I think that a lot of times people don't do that, and they don't know that or unaware of it. But for me, my dad told me a long time ago that I think at the time it was 6.1 billion people on the planet. And he told me there's only one of me, only one of me. And he told me to go be great and never let anybody put me in a group, or if you read something or think something and you evaluate it and you come with your own conclusion, you go with that.
Yep.
And I learned that very young, and I'm grateful that the parents I had instilled in me not to ever look at someone because of how they look, but because of who they are.
Right. Their actions. Exactly. It's really it's content of your character. It's
Yep.
really it's really it's really I have the similar I have the same voting record as you, which is also not supposed to be allowed in my community.
Yep.
Um, it's
Which I don't know what that means. Who's determining what we should be and not be?
yeah, well, that's the thing. But these are
Okay. Hold on. Go ahead, Vaughn.
sure, yeah, no, I'm just saying that that's what some people expect. Um, but yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna read the comments when I'm here. Casey, I don't know what you're saying, but um, uh, be relaxed. Hello there. I'm not going to be on much longer. I have to get going and go eat dinner, and I've been on for about 5 hours. So hey, Damon, how are you? And I have to return my mother's call. So um, maybe another time. Be relaxed. If you are on Happs, come over and join. Follow us here because you can't join from Periscope. You doing okay? Good. Very good. Yeah, I've been on for about 5 hours, Damon. Otherwise, I would say join. Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good. Got the my first vaccine shot yesterday. What was the topic about, and what are your both ages? We were just talking about just the different life experiences, sexuality, and other things in religion and that kind of thing. I'm 52. I believe Ed is 57. So it's a similar generation that we grew up in. He's in California. I'm in New York. So we're definitely definitely. He's if you're on here, follow Ed Lynn. Um, it's definitely a super guy. Really, yeah, more philosophical. It's been a serious conversation. It's been laughs and going back and forth, and just really just people chatting about their own life experience, just really getting to know each other. Nothing too nothing too terrible serious, but all good conversations. People from very different walks of life, just chatting about our the things that help us make us who we are. There's chaos with the vaccine rollout. They've been losing them or sending them to the wrong places. Oh, geez. I'm sorry to hear that. It's but I gotta when Ed comes back, I'm gonna have to run because my mom's been calling and texting. Um, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. It's been the rollout has been pretty. It's been botched to say the least. Damon here also in New York. Some states are better than others here. Um, it's not. It has not been easy to get the shot. Expect child vaccinations by early 2022. Oh, this guy Fauci needs to just shut up. They just need to just get the cane and pull him off the stage. Yeah, it really has not been has not been rolled out the way you would expect here. It's all political. Some states are handling it much better than others. But anyway, let's see. Damon, do you guys celebrate? Or do you guys observe daylight savings? Just curious. I don't know. It's now 20 to 6 or 20 to 7 p.m. You got the Pfizer? Yeah, I got Pfizer. So did Joe. You do observe? Okay, so it's what time is it by you? 10 in the morning? 20 minutes before 10? Is that what time is it? You fall back early next month? Okay. Oh, so, all right. So we just went. All right, so you guys are opposites. So you guys have we just sprung ahead last weekend. Okay, 15 hours difference now. Okay. Okay. All right. So I was right. I'm used to being right. It's one of my talents. It's 9:41 on Saturday. Yeah, you're in the future. Um, just, anyway, the sorry, I was just reading something. Okay, I'm going to. I'm not sure. I know Ed is at work, so it's so warm again. Are you having a heat wave again? Oh boy. Supposed to chill down next week. Okay. Yeah, it's 40. It's 40 Fahrenheit here, which I believe is like, I don't know, 5 degrees Celsius. Alexa, what is 40 degrees Fahrenheit converted to Celsius?
40 degrees Fahrenheit is about 4.4 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, it's humid too. Okay. Well, you guys have brutal summers, so um, I feel your pain. We don't have the same intense heat that you do, but it'll get up to the 90s in July here, but in August. But it goes back and forth. Up in Sydney, they had 15 inches of rain last. Oh shit! Well, thank God you didn't have the wildfires this year. That was terrible 2 years ago. The summer wasn't too bad. Yeah, yeah. All those poor people in your country and the animals, billions of animals that were lost in those fires. Um, it was 2 years ago, right? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. End of 2019. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was scary. Scary to watch. Bronx Viking is live. Um, let's see if my mother replied. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna have to send Ed a message, and All right, Damon, I'm gonna have to run because my mom. I gotta see why she keeps calling. My mom. Ted, I'm sorry. I just saw you. I was just waiting for Ed to come back on. I'm gonna try to come back on in a little while, but my 83-year-old mom keeps trying to call me, and I got to make sure everything's okay. So I have to jet shortly. I mean, for a short time. And I will. I would love to have you. I would love to have you join. I was thinking of you this morning. I was like hoping that you would come in. But yeah, that would be great. I just sent Ed a message, so I'll have to run. Yeah, yeah. And she lives alone, so I just got to make sure everything's okay. And I'm I'm her healthcare proxy, so I got to just. But I will. Yeah, I will hopefully see you guys in a little bit. And thanks again. Yeah, thanks again for the support from everybody always. Ed, if you come back and you fast forward. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will. I will catch you on the rebound. Have a great night. She owns a farm. Busy. 75-year-old. That's great. Anybody has that energy. I don't even have the energy to own a farm. But all right, guys, I'm gonna have to run. I will see you in a little while. I'll talk to you later, Ted.